listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
So there's this guy driving along the road, right? Okay, he's just driving along the road, minding his own business, because that's what we do. We just kind of do that drive around travel thing, and the OPP pulls him over. Story. Yesterday? Today? I'm not sure. Anyway. You wait to hear the punchline. It's fucking hilarious. So he's driving along, minding his own business, and pulls this guy over. Right? OPP goes up to the window, asks the guy, does he have a license? And he says, no, and apparently I don't need one. Punchline? Have a good night, sir. Guys, we have this game to stay the course. Who was it just posted in the room there about I'm the storm. I'm the duality storm. I name me, right? I just called my duality storm is Kati, the spirit of love. Hell of a storm. Apparently where was it? Let me get to it, because this was quite funny. Here it is. So, the storm in the south is called Leon. No, it's not. It's called Heart Mine. Leo rules the heart. The Fa note, the root note of creation, and N makes it all mine, you see. Since when did we start naming these storms? Great question, Kelly. We named everything. That's what sound does. Did no one ever wonder why names and just regular words were always so different? You know, you never think about that? Because there's two entirely different tense there. One's for regular language and the other one's for God language. And you got to figure out the God first before you can figure out the tongue pledge language second. And we've been walking around putting carts before horses for so long. Anyway, welcome to Outside the Box here on a beautiful Tuesday night. Well, it's night here, and it's night, half the planet anyway, or close to it. It depends on the twilight, right? And of course, Santo is going in to crush the entire Australian legal system right now, so because it's all fraud. Santo knows who he is, and that's why I didn't get caught up in any of the dramas of people, taking little shots at me, thinking that I'm not, that I don't care. And actually, the whole fact of the matter is I do care, and that's why I didn't get involved with aiding and abetting and putting that intention where, got to get legal funds, got to get a lawyer, got to get this, got to get... No. See, that's what children do. You see, they're still stuck in the papal or the paper matrix, so that's what it is. Pa is, there's your father aspect in terms of the masculine, intent per, so your intent per. So what it is, paper is actually telling you phonetically is that this is how you put forth your intent. And it's not just the squiggles on the page. You better understand what those squiggles mean. But what it's doing is if you look at the piece of paper, as I've said before, consider that it's a hand grenade. It's empty, and the pin is truly lodged into it. So you put the writing on it. Well, if you didn't write it, well, the grenade's empty and the pin's still in it. Now, here's the other thing. If you actually read it and can connect with the concepts contained within it, that using anything in the system, the Whore of Babylon system, is pure and utter fiction and is powerless, then what you're going to start to see is your intent is now getting some crow power, some cause. By the way, about halfway up here, I was thinking about the crown and the crow and the cause and all the rest of it, and lo and behold, and we're talking, this is one of the, I got to tell you, this is probably the shittiest traveling weather I have ever traveled through in Canada, bar none. Bar none, get it? None, the destroyer, bar destroyed. Intent is out. So as I'm about halfway up, and I was thinking about this, and hundreds, if not probably 1,000 or more crows were on the trees on each side of the highway. They just came out of nowhere. And I'm looking, and I just laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed some more. Because I know what's happening. I can see the magic as this planet is forming. So get your energy where it needs to be. Santo is God. I know he is. He's me, magnetic electric. Just as you are God, you're me. You're magnetic electric. I'm me. I'm magnetic electric. And we're bringing this into balance now. And something else, too, there's been a profound shift in so many ways I got to get in my car and drive some shitty weather more often, apparently. But anyway, of course, everything. I know how the plan's being played out. I can read the map, and what's happening here is this playing out to such a level that I have no words for it. So, what was I going to say there? About Santo. Yeah. So is me. Okay. About the private prosecution. Well, you see, on the way up here, I was thinking privati, before va to go, t to love. So that's what private is. Or you could be a public. You might pronounce it public. I just pronounce it public. I was thinking about this the other day, actually, the public versus the privati. So when you're private, you're almost there. Right? So what does prosecute mean? Well, prosecute, let's just take it literally. It actually means do not pursue. That's what it means. So why the hell would we want to pursue? Listen, guys, we've been chasing our own tails, acting in fraud, thinking we are the legal fiction, one. And two, just the belligerence and the intent of it. Oh, you've put your fence an inch onto my property. I'm going to sue your ass. Okay, put your crayon away. Here's an ice cream cone. Does that help? That make you feel any better? Okay. That's basically the grown-up attitude that I've seen. It's like even going to divorce court. What, did you bring lawyers in when you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend in high school? Or did you do that all by yourself? Dipshits. Oh, but they're going to have my stuff. Guess you're not that able to create anything. But you see all the little traps we put ourselves into? So let's go back to privati, which is before going to love, and prosecuti, which is for himself, herself, itself. Q. There's that. Take your Q, baby. That's your ovum with the sperm in it. T, which is love. So it's for the creation of love. I don't see any beating somebody over the head with a baseball bat, 5-year-old retarded kid in there. So let's put it together with the sounds. And guys, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. I mean, I had a field this afternoon on criticalmassradio.co.uk main page. I do the once a week Choose Day show, and I have to tell you that you guys need to download that one and this one if you want to really get into the zone and play them back to back, and you'll be amazed, hopefully as amazed as I was. Like, holy shit, it's been a very profound day. But anyway, let's get these mics going tonight, guys. I want everyone jumping in. This is celebration time. Santo, the living God, put the energy behind that intent of pure, unconditional love that allows all things in, all things out. God is all about accepting all things. AC, the alternating current in balance. 7, the God number. Bring it into balance in God with all things. Crazy. Anyway, let me get Mike jumping in here. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And good morning. Just for good measure.
Yeah, I was wondering, who is it? Yeah, Santos. Australia. You guys are morning time now. Beautiful. Thanks for reminding me, Kate. It is already, for us, in some ways, just to show you the fictionality of time, just because someone drew lines on a planet and said now it's tomorrow in Japan and Australia and other parts of the world to me right now. And they tried to explain it to me in a way that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, what's different from any other fictional fairy tale I've heard? We're talking about something that's taking place tomorrow for me, that's today. We're going back to this, it's always noon. We're transcending the constructs of our limited consciousness that we're playing with in this game.
Yep. For for those that might have one, but here, just get the visual of a clock that is see-through with all the numbers on the front. And you'll see the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around on this side, okay, as you're looking at it. And it's, of course, turning clockwise. But if you turn the clock over, let's just say it is, in the clockwise world, it is 5 after 12. In the anti-clockwise world, it's 5 to 12. So it's always the same time, in balance, from the now. So in the counterclockwise world, it's 5 minutes to the now. Let's make noon the now. And in the clockwise world, it is 5 minutes after the now.
This is the same with the way you break down language, where we're breaking down the definition.
Yeah, making it our own. And this is all I'm trying to show people. Instead of taking stuff literally, make it your own. This is how you control cause. If you are taking something literal, you are at effect to that cause that someone else has put in your face. This is what it means to be mind controlled. Guys, they've been throwing kangaroos and rabbits and monkeys and all sorts of shit in your left field for years. They call it the 6 o'clock news. They call it Hollywood. They call it everything in terms of the game. Again, I say they as me, the other energy of me, which I'm playing. That's what we do. And, well, you bought that, so how about you buy the mirror instead, the one that you're creating from? So if I keep going back to it because it works. Crown Bar shuts down. To the literal, it's a pub, and they got to find somewhere else to drink. To the allegorical, well, the Crown Bar shuts down. The Crown Bar allegory for me is the Temple Bar, City of London, where all the crows are now dead. I'm talking their intent.
Did you get a chance to listen to Curtis recently?
Oh, hang on. I want to go to anagogic, right? Remember, I was in section 3. Okay. So there's the allegory. The anagogic to me is, how does it matter to me? What relevance in my reality does that have? It has all the relevance that I choose to have, because it's foreshadowing in my movie. Crown Bar shuts down. Yep, that's what I want. My intention is entirely different than what the newspaper headline was. So that's what happens when you move from literal and be at effect to anagogic, where, yeah, that's my movie, baby. Watch it unfold. Anyway, so go ahead. You were talking. You said you were talking to Curtis?
Well, that's it. And I was going to give you an example of that again. Curtis was talking, I guess this weekend somebody posted the link. I haven't gone all the way through it. But he's talking about how every lawyer or attorney has no right to practice in any state because they did not do a subscribed oath. So if you just asked them, where's your subscribed oath that you signed? None of them have it. None of them will produce it. And so they're thinking this is the game changer in there.
And they're actually charging, from what I hear, they're charging $300 a pop for some documents. I'm going, okay, kids. And I'm going to be very blunt.
I'm sticking to the words, right?
I hear you. I'm a transparent. So I will be a transparent, and I will call out all of the nonsense, and that is utter nonsense. Go ahead, Michael. So
what I get really clear is, okay, you just said it. No lawyer or attorney is legally or lawfully allowed to practice in any state. And my reminder to Chris yesterday was, and what part of they will change it to however they deem fit to do whatever they please did you not get?
Yeah, no, they're still trying to play Monopoly in the game, that is the grid, with rules that we set up to entrap ourselves so that we could play a game. Remember, everything that is here that we would deem to be a trap, we set it up to see if we could figure our way out of it. It'd be a very boring game if we played in God mode. I keep bringing this up. Does that not make sense? I mean, I wouldn't want to watch the same hockey game or football or soccer or whatever game over and over and over and over. I'd get kind of bored. And this is what we do, is the end game is let's just have the end game. Of course, in Japan, tie is always considered the most honorable finish. So let's say the game is a great game full of lots of action, one of the best games you've ever seen, lots of goals. It's a tie, end as a tie game in sudden overtime, then it goes sudden death again, and then of course you have the tie, which is 10-10. So one hell of a game between, let's say Toronto Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadiens, for all the Canadians here, okay? And everybody else, if you follow that sort of stuff. Now, knowing the score is going to be a tie, well, there's not much of a game there, so we have to kind of make ourselves think that we're going to be in sudden death overtime for, continuous times. But no, I'm done. I'm done with it. The tie works for me, where everybody wins, right? Everyone goes home, everyone saves face, and all they do is now talk about the game. Oh, do you remember that time when you slapped my ass in fucking solitary? Oh my God, I couldn't believe that. So yeah, you got me. And do you remember that time when everything around you collapsed? And this is what is happening within consciousness. Just a little word to the wise. How many current officers are out of commission right now up here, guys? 16 out of 50 officers out of commission due to, 3 in critical condition due to, and I don't wish this on anyone. You see, this is the mirror reflecting back now. I will not prosecute. I don't have any need to. That's silliness. So I just let the universe go, yeah, no problem, I'm good with that. That's what they want to experience, then that's their call, that's consciousness, and that's letting consciousness play itself out. Who am I to judge? I'm just going to be a really cool neutral observer and point it out and laugh. Not at any, if people, but people are hurt. Guys, it's still the movie, okay? It feels very real. It feels so real. Oh my God, it's real. I can't believe it's real. Bill Hicks, look at the furrows of worry under my eyes. Look at my house. Look at my, it has to be real. And like he says, we kill those guys. Well, that's only because there was the intent the other way too. Sorry, you can't kill those that have no intention of that. You see? Yes, and it can be very loud indeed, So remember that. It's just a movie. It's just a ride. And what we are doing at this table is awakening to the fact that it's just a ride. And we've got to balance this out. We're not going to balance it out going into court kicking and screaming like children, because that's the other part of our consciousness that says, part of our consciousness is going to come in kicking and screaming. And, depending on how awake they are, will determine how much, we'll throw at them to see if they're, long enough to wake them up.
Well, a reminder here, Kate, is how many end games do you guys want?
Yeah.
You can keep pulling layers back from the system. And I'm like, and I thought it was beautiful what they're showing with the DNA and stuff like that to show people, it didn't start when you were older. It started right from the get-go that this game was being perpetrated.
They never left the physical effect, though. That's the point I'm making. They stayed in it, thinking that the DNA, that's the eggshell. I'm the chicken that laid that mofo.
Yes.
And they're playing around with the eggshells. The chicken came first.
So if we know we're free from it, don't keep putting another control system thinking, but we got this next hurdle to jump. We're free, this is the end. Oh, wait a second, we got this next hurdle to jump. We have no more hurdles to jump in terms of in-game scenarios. We don't need the RV or the currency reset or the, I don't know, whatever it may be. Not necessarily. Not necessary.
And even for me, Michael, to come around with the whole accept all things, and this is where I'm living now, of accepting things, and I accept it with a big smile. Why would I need to do anything if I accept all things? I just simply be, right? Next, is there's no more fight there, so there's no more energy going into that old intent where I've reclaimed all of my own intent, and the cab driver knows the way home, and I'm going, whatever, you got some bumpy roads or whatever, that's fine. I had enough of my bumpy roads. And as soon as, I got to tell you, the more calm I got, the less bumpy the roads got. The more I opened up inside myself to see what I was doing that was not conducive to accepting all things, the better it got. So right to the point where, why would we want to privately prosecute? The intention's out there. For me, I don't have to pursue anything. It already is.
Well, that's the funny thing about the information they gave you. Okay, there's no one to privately prosecute anymore because they're not allowed to practice in anything anyways. I'm like, guys, do you see the great humor in that? I'm finding the humor in that. Great, so you realize that every lawyer who's ever been practicing, they've been only scamming you the whole time.
Well, they're the ones that practice, and I really want to keep it allegorical because some of the things can be misconstrued. Okay,
they're practicing, like you say. Look at the word. They're really practicing their own game that they play, and you're coming into it. You don't know any of the rules, and you're not designed to. You're dead once you come in.
What's even funnier is these guys that are, quote, practicing law have now got to come up against those like me who are masters of it. You cannot practice law in my court because my court is my intention, and my intention, my crow and cause, my crown, rules.
And that's it. Right back to individual responsibility, Kate. Beautiful.
I can take that. You know what? And I can wield it now too, and comfortably because I'm in a point of peace. So why would I want to prosecute when it means do not pursue?
Yes.
I'll let them chase their own tails, and lo and behold, like the opening joke, true story. Guy gets pulled over by the old BPs. You got a license? Well, apparently I don't need one. Have a nice night, sir. This is a timeline shifting, guys. This is not a, you don't have to think that you have to put every individual point to change the world. No, the only thing you got to do is change you. How are you looking at the world, and what are you creating in your reality? So take your reality back. So for me, anyone wants to talk to me, I'll say, okay, well, I'll tell you what my definition of that word, of my Phoenician, my language, and that's, I will interpret my law. No one interprets it for me. Ever. I used to think that they could, and that was all legal and all the rest of it. What you're saying, if you're playing in the legal, is allowing someone else to interpret your law for you. And like that judge said, the dictionary is the last fucking book you need to look at. And he's right. He's absolutely right. And they will always tell you the truth. Every step of the way, I was told the truth. It had to be up to me to decipher what it was that was really being said. And now we can do that.
Hey, Kate, a clear way to come at this is, if you're coming at this from the physical to get to the spiritual, I think you're going in the wrong direction. It's from the spiritual to the physical. It's from the intent to the effect.
A cause to effect versus thinking you can be cause using effect. No. This is a feedback loop of infinite proportions. It's like this. Let's say I'm standing in front of you, Michael, and let's say we're old style meat sticks, okay? And I say to you something rude, and I get an effect, right? Hey, what do you mean? And then you throw something back, right? So not only have I created an effect on something outside of me, I've also created a cause because I had to observe pissing somebody off, right? So that I see the effect too. So every intent you put out, your cause and effect to it. This is the magic of that loop. So now you're all pissed off, and you throw something back at me to create another effect against me, and I go, oh, wait a minute, and then it just escalates. That's a feedback loop. What energy are you putting out to create what effect? If you're putting out an energy to, intend harm, I don't. You see, this is the joy of vengeance. I don't have to worry about it because the universe has the game. The game grid is set. The cab driver is behind the wheel. All I have to do now is sit back and enjoy the ride and watch the reality around me shift. I've had countless things in the last 2 days that have literally exploded my mind to such a level of, oh yeah, okay, I get it. And I'm laughing. I'm constantly laughing. I mean, seriously, there was hundreds, if not well over 1,000 crows. Dead of winter, I'm one of the shittiest... You can't make this up. Where the hell did they come from? The whole sky, the tree line was filled with crows. Filled. I'm just laughing as I'm going by because I just thought about getting my own cause back and being my own crow. Look at the movie. I talked about this earlier today. Look at the movie. We're playing Hunger Games. Okay, literally.
The blending of worlds.
Yes, this is upside down. This is everything coming together. And when you bring it together, only then can you have unity. And that's when things come back together in the perfect light. You have to understand what a magnet is. There's the 0 point where everything is perfect in the middle of a magnet. What's his name? Dave. He did the Primer Fields. Anyway, I've talked about him many times. No, it's a French name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Semantics. What he showed was the 0 point. He's the only guy, and this is like over a year ago I'm watching this stuff going, there, he found the 0 point of the magnet where everything is neutral. And that's where you've got to be in order to create the full effect of the toroidal field. Because look at a magnet. You've got if you put iron filings around a magnet, here it is. There's your toroidal field. That is the sphere of influence that a magnet has. You'll only see the majority of it near the magnet, but that magnet creates an effect universe-wide. It may be seemingly immeasurable, infinite light years away from that magnet, but it's still having an effect, you see. That's the butterfly, flapping its wings. So what we have here is the flow out from one end of the magnet. It doesn't matter if it's north or south. It doesn't matter, okay? Because I can take a magnet that says north and south and change the poles to north and south and do that with other magnets, and it'll be the same thing anyway, just upside down. So you've got the flow coming out of the north, and it's creating a field coming right back to the south. Now put that in a 3D and make it around the magnet, and you will see the toroidal field. And only can you affect the toroidal field when you're at the 0 point, where you become the center, the light, in the chaos. You are chaos. You are all darkness, and the light is within you putting out. The light here, I've said this countless times, is the illusional, if you want to call it, poison that has you distracted. But it's also the cure, because it's the game grid. Are you being played by the game, or is the game being played by you? So go back to the Hunger Fields, because there's so much in this movie. The original pin that the girl had was a mockingjay, which is a crow. And she carried that. See, the thing is, no matter where she went, that always appeared. She didn't think she'd have it for the first time. Then her friend opened her jacket up to show her that her cause was with her. She had her crow. She was wearing the crow mine, the crown. Crown? Okay? Going in against all odds, right? May the odds be ever in your favor. And if you play in the Matrix, they are never in your favor, because you're letting someone create an effect on you. So don't cry. Don't get pissed off. You got to figure this out within you, and it's not tough. It really isn't. I did it. Okay? And I'm trying to show you the key. It's so easy. When you turn this key, the whole universe unlocks for you. Excuse me. So during the game, one of the key things and of course it had to be Cat Ness in the state of being Cat, or Kate Ness, in the spirit of love. Remember? Oh, don't personify, because I chose the name Kate. You're all Kati. You're all spirit of love. I've been telling you that you're me all along, and I am you as me all along. Magnetic electric. So
forever.
There you. What's that?
As I said, forever, Dean.
Yeah.
Forever, Eve or Dean, Eve or Dean.
Yeah. And I'll get into the last name, but I just want to show the very simple things so people can grab them. So you've got Katniss, and who was her compatriot? The male, the electric, was a guy called Peter, Jupiter. Yeah, so you have Kate and Peter, Katniss and Peter. So in the state of spirit of love. Now, the Mockingbird, or Mockingjay, and of course I wrote a song called What? By a Lullaby. Hush now softly, can't you hear the mockingbird? She must be near. She sings her song, the By You Lullaby, the duality of intent lullaby. That's what you are. Polarized, so bring that together. Bring that energy back together and get some peace within you. And the literals will keep you swimming in the left brain. I took a bulldozer to it. Cain's quite happy. You should see the roses and everything else that I'm giving the left brain to grow. And Cain's ecstatic. He has no need. He doesn't want to kill Abel anymore. This is great, sis. Keep them coming. No effort. You just keep planting shit in the and it's like beautiful. No effort required. You just have to be Cain, who's looking at the field going, bitchin'. Should have got together with that a long time ago. With my the true feminine creation. And of course, early on in just before they have to go and do their fighting thing, there's Peter and Katniss getting advice from one of the previous winners, quote unquote, and he was telling them, why are sponsors important? Spawn, say, rose. yeah, you can't make this up. The life of God of creation, sponsors, and there you have spawn, auras, creation itself. That's why you have sponsors. And why you want sponsors. The sponsors in our reality are all the points of consciousness that are sitting watching this movie from on high that didn't get the opportunity or the privilege to be playing as part of those 7.3 billion points of consciousness out of all the infinite options. So take the win. Now you'll get an idea just how well some are doing and how well some, and from the good-evil perspective, aren't doing. But here's the thing. The most evil aspect of our consciousness here on this planet is doing a masterful job to show the contrast of the most beautiful. Oscars all around, boys and girls. And what happened as soon as they asked the question, why sponsors? Well, because the sponsors, you have to get them to like you, because if they like you during time of need, they can actually send something to you that you need right at that moment that's critically important for your survival. And it will show up exactly when you need it. Just Katniss got the ointment when she had her leg burned, just like Peter got the ointment whenever he had his leg cut open with a sword, the words, right? In the second movie, they got a tap for a tree so that they could feed freely on truth, the water. They didn't have to worry about truth because truth was always going to be there. They had the spigot. They had the means to access it. So yeah, your sponsors, the more you stand in truth. Look at the word love. Well, L-O can make an aw sound, right? Law, love. So what is it saying phonetically? What love is simply this, the law of unconditional love, and it goes fractal. The law, which is the law of truth, right? You have law ve. You might understand what law va is now, but law ve is the law of truth. Verily, ve. Well, you've probably been someone's law ver at some time. Universe, which is the one eye, the single pillar, all together, standing in truth of creation, himself, herself, itself. You don't have to do a thing. And the more things that you feel you need to do are more webs that you are entangling yourself in. And why I know Santo, who knows who he is, has only that causal intent of mind to be God. Because I know he is. Santo is a master. And anyone that thinks that they can help him legally is a fool. You're trying to help aid and abet someone who knows who they are back into a system? So what exactly are you doing? Hurting or helping? From my perspective, you're throwing all sorts of shit into his universe. All sorts of malcontent, malintent. You don't know who you are. You certainly don't know what you are. And more importantly, you don't know why you are. So stand the ground. Stand in truth. It is all about truth. And there are very few on this planet that I can look at, especially someone like Santo, who is my blood, who is me. Don't ever question that. My love is so unconditional and so intense that I will not yield this ground to enter back into people talking about nonsense. It's just Babylon to me. Baby law mine. No, I'm all grown up. You want to play with baby law? Then stay in with the practitioners, the ones that want to practice law, because, sorry, you cannot practice law. You either know it or you don't. And there is only one law, and that's God, you. Law of the universe, the immutables, the pure thing that keeps this grid where it is, the unbreakable law. And it always had to be and always will be love. It's really simple. So fire up the intentions into the headlines that we want to see instead of creating nonsense for ones that you think you can create, and you cannot. Because I'll tell you, here's the joy of me, because anyone that's doing this, I've just claimed their attention anyway. All of their intention units are gone. They're mine. I'm taking them, suffer unto me the little children, fine. They want to walk around in a playground with an Uzi. I'm taking the Uzi away. And I'm putting cement boots on their feet.
It's real simple. Your intention is either coming from love or fear. There's no other base.
Fear is Piscean. Fear is because there is doubt. And doubt is only an illusion. You know, here I am driving up. I'm driving up here. The last stretch, the last 15, 20-minute stretch, I turn left to come up the highway, and right across the front of it, road closed, OPP section, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. This half's open. And I'll tell you something else. When I was driving, it was actually some of the best road I've been on the whole way up here, which is even funnier. But I noticed there were street lights on. So if the street lights are on, open for business. If they wanted to, if it was really closed, I don't know about you, but any good shopkeeper will turn the lights out. No, it's open to me. Besides, the sign can't say anything to me. I have to say thank you because I had a little red thing on it with a bar through it to say, don't hit this. Went around it. I didn't ask for permission to go pee this morning either. Isn't that funny? And apparently you don't need a license or insurance in Canada or the world. That's a fact. Why are you carrying one? Why are you paying the beast? Pay the piper indeed. Piper. Oh my God, it just gets funnier. Anyway. All right, guys, jump in here. Let's hear some action. Not all at once.
Let's see who else comes aboard.
Okay, I've got Brandon in here. I've got you, Mike. So, okay, guys, you know the rules. Not a word until somebody else puts their hand up, right? Okay. There. You beat me to it. There we go. It's all right. It's happening now. So, there's two. I got Lynn. That's Lynn. And 530. I know the voice. The name eludes me. Because I know this number. I've seen it. Oh, come on. Open the microphones.
Hello.
Hey, Lynn. You might as well say something while I'm trying to get this other call going. Go ahead.
What up with that? Come on in, man. It's lovely in here. Yeah. You're not looking at Facebook, eh?
Oh, me? Not yet.
Oh, well, I get these notifications on my phone. That's all I have right now. Apparently, the School of Holy Simon posted that Santos is free. Woo woo! But did you have any doubts? Hell no, he was always free, wasn't he?
I told you my script is good.
Woo! Yeah. Anyway.
I told you Sonia was going to take down the Australian legal system and the rest of the world with it. He's my superstar in my script. You fucking mind? I'm directing my movie. Get out of my script. Get on it. Get on the script or get out of it.
Well, shit, you must have wrote me in, so here I am.
Well, you're a superstar. Of course you are, Lynn.
Damn straight. You know, that lexigramming stuff is really, really fascinating, quite fun, and I just think it's like a prime example of the infinity that is us. 56 different names I can come up with that apparently I've been. Tommy, Monet, Tennyson, Helen. I mean, the list goes on. It's really cool. So I'm having fun putting pieces together, and yeah.
I'm trying to get on Facebook right now. For some reason, this net connection doesn't. Skype works great. I've got the board open, but for some reason, it just doesn't like it. Oh, hey, you know what I did today? I do it every so often. I thought it was really cool, and isn't it funny? There was I the Google page and I search because I want to see what kind of effect consciousness is resonating. It's not about me. People got to lose this. I'm only a reference point, so I have to use the reference points that I use, like K of Gaia. So Google that reference point to see what point that is having an effect in the consciousness, and like 0.26 seconds came up back with 15,200,000 results. I'd say that's a pretty, top of the list even. I think that's pretty cool. We are the cutting edge here. You guys are the cog, K-O-G, Kate of Gaia, right? Remember, I'm you, so look at it from this perspective. And that means that the spirit of love, Ka-Ti, the cog in the creation is in the number one spot for the go ogle. Yeah, of course they want to ogle us. Why wouldn't they? Oh, you might say Google. I say go ogle, but there you go. Or better yet, glee. What do babies do, right? They goo in glee. It's beautiful. Are we having fun yet?
Yeah.
So I'm actually waiting to see. I'm pretty sure that Santa will probably tag when he gets back to the house, and we'll bring him into the show. We can talk. Does that work for you guys?
Right.
Works for me.
Yeah,
I've still got an hour.
That's awesome.
Well, he's got 2.25 hours to get to the computer. So let's put that into the script. That would work good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think I'd love.
Sure.
I'd love.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave. Thank you, Steve. It's David Lapointe or Lapointe. To the point, light to the point. Yeah, Primer Fields. So thank you, Steve. Much obliged. And
more. This reminds me of a DMT trip I had one day.
I'm still on it, man. It's called Earth.
It is. It's magical. That word's right here. Always, whether your eyes are closed or open.
Quite the comedy we wrote, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to sit back and the other points of consciousness going, I told you. Fucking you're still doing that shit. Oh, man, we're just sitting back going, literal. Oh, literal kids, right? It's okay. I was there. We can pick on ourselves. It's okay. I guarantee you I got at least 2 or 3 Oscars, Emmys, and you name it in my cabinet for the most insecure, whiny, screamy, tantrum-throwing, 5-year-old retarded child, Uzi-bearing, flamethrower-tossing, tranny-mouthy bitch award in acting in the role of than a lot of people. And I got the shows to prove it.
That's good.
Love that part of me.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Some of the nights, and I remember. Oh my God! And the thing is, I can remember it, and I'm looking at it laughing. But I remember the, intense sorrow and rage and fear, and oh my God! I was awesome. I'm looking at it going, I'd have bought that performance. I would have. Oh man. Oh yeah. So, friggin', come on, hurry up, Facebook, load up. You know what? It's the universe setting me up for another surprise. Sato's going to show up and go, Jesus! I'm out. I know. I had no doubt. I have no doubt. Wow. crazy ass shit. Actually, let me post this for Isaac. I haven't talked to Isaac. See, I haven't talked to Isaac in ages. He was one of the two that stood with me when I went back to the house. You know, that is my home, and just watch. I go home, and we all go home. That's the game. You know, I was 7 years old. I remember this so clearly. My friend's dad had said something about. It wasn't a very deep conversation, but it was regarding life. And I just looked at him, and I looked him square in the eyes and said, you know something? When I win, we all win. And I never left that thought. And that's the answer to life, 42. That was 42 years ago. It's funny how the script plays out when you're actually observing the real script, not the literals that keep you bogged down. But when you see the real script, oh, there's Redbeard. Yeah, Isaac and Redbeard. Yep. There's the Holy Trinity. Two divine masculines stood with me that day. What does that? I'm so energy charged right now. The goosebumples are up and down me, and I'm sure there are a few others.
It's like this. We're laughing, and I'm like, Kate, where did I think you lived? Canada. I mean, this sense of distance and stuff is really soon a figment of our imagination of the past.
Yeah, this world is changing. Oh, there was another good one. And, just so I know, I want them to know, I got Isaac, in my script, I have Isaac and Redbeard as superstars. And look, they are, because they stood. And now all knows who they are. Those beautiful superstars in my creation, in my reality, in as much as I was part of their creation in their reality. It's like I said to Sheila and Art here. I said, you created me. I'm the co-creation. How do you like your superstar? You guys are sitting back, and I'm doing all the fucking work. How do you like this game? Perfect. And then I said, this is the last time I do this. I want my pussy back. I'm done with this training shit. You know? Oh, yeah. My God. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I do have a way with words, don't I?
Yeah, no doubt.
You created me. Well done.
No, that's really well done. It's just mind-boggling. So cool.
Look how cool a director you are.
Yeah.
You just showed up for the, oh yeah, I remember how the movie went. Oh, yeah, this is right. This is the ending we all wrote. Oh yeah, there's the actress and everything. Oh, it's great. Oh yeah. And you're standing there, yeah, with your conductor stick going, la 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 la. Go get him, Kate. That's why I put you there, you bitch. La la la. So I do, and I'm, oh man. What a journey to get here, and I didn't break a sweat once because the cab driver's going. I'm good. I'm there. And, wasn't worried about getting on the air. It was 5 minutes and 39 seconds when I got to the board. And then, of course, as soon as I got logged in, it said, you have 4 minutes, 22 seconds until showtime. I'm thinking, 4:22? Can you make it any funny? The quad master?
The more this gets funnier, and I hear you laughing, Kate, my consciousness is like, wow, we're getting closer.
We're there. We're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, so do me a favor, guys. If you get something in the document that resonates with you, now that piece of paper is a physical effect, has a spiritual intent from you, God. Fire it off. And the more you get, the more, in concept, the more gunpowder you put into it. You want to scatter, I don't know, a planet? Sit down for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come here to be ruled. I'm human. We're unruly. That's human nature is unruly. We can't be ruled because we're God. So this is such a glorious, glorious game. And I can hardly wait to hear the victory, the grabbing of reality, the vice Taurus that Santo is going to bring to the table. Say N-T-O. Let's break Santo's name down, shall we? Get rid of that A, the hex, the reverse. Put an E in there because that's what A in Latin sounds like. And it means himself, herself, itself. So there's a trinity right there out of the gate with Santo. N, it's all his. T, note of love. O, creation itself, the ovum. And you had doubt? This game just gets funnier and funnier and funnier. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna roll past. Well, we're still a ways off yet, but I'm gonna roll past just because I know Santo's gonna show up. Just have that feeling, you know. So let's intend that. I want Santo at the table with us to tell us his how he destroyed the entire legal system on the planet with one fell swoop. I think that'd be a great story.
Yep.
Crazy fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm call in, get in here, and that's not you guys are here, and I want everyone jumping in. We got an hour and 5 until rollover, so I'll phone number. There's Joe Tara. Joe, if you want, I'll pull you in with me because your connection's always shitty when I pull you on the board. So hang up, hon, and I'll bring you in with me. The only reason I do that is because I know her connection's no good. So I'm going to bring her in. There we go. Give me a second here. I've had too many times where she's on the board and it's just been, hey, okay, I'm good. I don't want any of that. You know, one sec, Joe Tara, where are you, hon? Oops, I better do the space. T, there it is. And come on in, Joe, the water's real. Okay, so that'll be that. And I've got 847. Hey.
Hey.
Everyone's showing up. Hey.
It's a party tonight.
It's just a lot. Told you it was a great ending.
Yes, you did, and you are correct.
Correct. Yeah, but see, now if you're correct, what you've done is you've got a duality destroying, or better yet, let's do it this way. Let's go with re, the true light of God, not the ra, right? The re is consciousness. C, unconditional love. T, love, the unconditional love of love. Isn't it beautiful? The law of truth. Yes, you are correct. Yes. We picked the right door. Well, it's better than the left, because you know what happens in the left field. You go around trying to prove little pieces of paper with little bits of human flesh and body parts and all the rest of it to go, look, you stole this. No, you're still missing it. You're almost there, though. Keep trying. Come on, Billy. Keep her going. There you go. Sally, one more time. Yep, almost. Do I have to put you in jail for you to really think about this, or are you going to be okay? But okay, 30 days, psych eval. There you go.
Yeah, looks like we're done with that.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we got Joe Tara in the call, hon. You're down under. What's going on?
Beautiful day down here.
Of course
Perfect
it is.
Summer weather. Celebrating.
Yeah, so what's the word? Have you caught any word down there?
No, I haven't actually. Not at all. I haven't been on anything actually to find out either. So,
well, I need to hear from the Wizards of Oz.
It's happening. The energy's just completely shifting anyway, as we know. I'm part of a women's group, like a meditation, online meditation. Can you hear my rooster going off in the background? I don't know. Is the rooster...
Yeah.
Hear that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm listening. Keep going.
Yeah, there's the roosters going off. Yeah, part of this group, and the consciousness shift that we know is at this table is everywhere I go now. Everything I'm seeing is awake to this new consciousness. Everything that everybody is saying is resonating with exactly where we are at the table. It's profound in what I'm getting. And I love I had a conversation with this group last night, and they talked about having a love affair with the self. I thought, that's exactly what it feels like. We're having a love affair with ourselves now, because the truth is really in the silence, and we get to actually express that with our sound, our phonetic expression at this table, without using anything from the old paradigm, because it doesn't exist. There's this timeline now that we're moving into, and for me, it's like you say, it's laughter, it's fun, it's sexuality, it's all these things that just bring us back to that childlike state. I listened to that documentary. I watched the documentary with the guy that you did the radio chat with the other day. He talked about the lucidity documentary.
Oh, Son Bomer?
No, the young guy.
Oh, Brendan, yes.
Yes, beautiful.
I have to do a shout out for Brendan and Noah. A couple of in terms of the physical, very young men, but in terms of the spiritual, I know a lot of people three times their age that don't know a sense of what they do, and there's nothing makes me get more chuffed than actually sitting with people that can interview me, because I am an impossible interview for anyone that has ego. Fact. You've heard me.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. They did such a good job. If you watch that lucidity documentary that Brendan put together, it's the divine essence of sitting amongst a community of conscious young people celebrating life. It's a documentary on a festival, like a new age, I hate using that word, but a festival of actual consciousness. And it will lift you and transform you. I'm at the point, I'm on my 9th day of a juice fast, so my consciousness is just floating, and my dreams are so lucid, which is what he was really talking about. So my dreams, I'm now becoming a conscious creator of my dreams. I'm knowing I'm lucid. I'm aware that I'm dreaming. I'm in the lucid dream. I get to explore the experience consciously. Example, last night I was in this dream and I had wings. It was like I was flying, and for some reason, I don't know why it's Robin Williams, but I was having sex with Robin Williams, and he was like an angel, and we were having this almighty blissful experience. And then it moved from there to where another male friend of mine was in the dream. He's a big man, and he was there holding my hand and taking me through crowds and protecting me. And like you said before, I felt like I had these two masculine representation of this masculine energy allowing me to shine my light like this amazing star in a sexual way, in a protected way, in this joyous laughter and expression. And for me, the dream state is allowing me to then consciously guide myself in those dreams to explore even further. So I'm on the tip of that. I'm doing that. I was so engrossed in the experience, I didn't need to take it anywhere.
No, and honestly, when people...
just the height of wherever you want to be. So for me, what we're talking about at this table, it's happening. It's happening. It's here. Done. I'm said.
No, I couldn't agree more on that, because... and the lucid dreams, I mean, they finally came back. I don't know if you heard me talking about the flying one that I had, where I was sitting on the wing, and I'm going, yeah, this is kind of fun. So I just roll off, and go, okay, float around. No fear. And then I just come back to the wing, and then I'd sit there, and I'd walk, and then I'd just go up and fly, and it was just amazing. And no words to describe it. And by the way, the word ka nada, in I believe it's Portuguese, eu nada. It means it's nothing. It's all good, right? So ka nada to me is the spirit of nothing. It's amazing. Of course. What's that?
I'm laughing because that's what I was sharing earlier, and now you said it.
Well, Hinata means something to me because that's a line I picked up from, my travels, my experience. I relate everything that I see to only my experience. I do not let any other experience, because they're not real, outside of me have any effect any longer. What people do to me, that's their experience. I have to see it from that objective versus. You see, that difference between being subjective or subject to emotion or being objective with it, where I can choose the emotion if I want. I was talking earlier today, I can watch a movie and be totally engrossed and be entertained and get into it literally, and then I can watch it again, which I always do 3 or 4 or 5 times because I see so much more every time. But then I go to it to see what the real story is. I'll get entertained, then I'm going to go and go, what? Yeah, and it's the same story that I talk about all the time. That's why you got to step into the literal to go, woohoo! But you see, here's the thing. You got to learn to get out of the literal first before you can do that. Otherwise, you're just going to keep with the serpent and the tail in its mouth. So now I can step, or basically leapfrog each level. I'll look at it literally, and I'll go circular on it, and then I'll see something different in it. So I step up. The tail comes out of the mouth. The serpent lifts its head and spirals to the next level, and the next, and so forth and so forth. That is what the word is. It's the word, the spiral, the creation itself, the intent, and it's beyond magical.
What I'm getting at the moment as well is that I'm so present to listening to people and taking on board all the resonance of their expression, whether it's the word, the energy of what's just sitting with them, and then I can actually see where my left brain labeling from a past condition would label something, and see it sort of float away on the wind. It's there, and then it just floats. Ding-a-ling.
Yeah, just like the sponsor parachuting stuff into you. You heard the ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling, and you knew something was coming. My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. Yeah, of course it's my ding-a-ling. You see, you got to stay fluid. You got to stay in the moment. And when you do, everything that comes in matters. Everything matters. You do not have one errant thought when you open your mind. Not one. You accept all things, you'll be fine. So I accept all things. I accept everything that I experienced in absolute gratitude, knowing it brought me here to the end game, where I'll just watch everything manifest as it was intended. I grant all the wishes back now because I'm in a position of cause to do so. I grant you all of your intentions in the mirror. I will give you your wish. I promise. And you will get to experience the fullness of that wish because I know that as a result of that wish, you will get here. I did. I had the shit beat out of me quite a few times, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and occasionally physically. Accept all things. I was talking with a friend the other night, and the subject of, because I use it as allegory, of my being raped when I was a kid. And he asked, "Oh, does that?" No, I have no emotional attachment to it because it gave me the main key of my game. Why can I get angry? And there's also, here's the thing too, that people keep forgetting, and the voice does it every time, I know, but people forget that I'm both. In that, one half of me screaming in fear and terror, and the other half's the female saying, "Oh well, I hope everything's okay." You should try that war inside your head, and fight through that. But at the end of it all, I look at it and go, my battle was with admiralty, with law, legally. Here's the system trying to fuck me. And I'm going, oh, well, what? Mirror, mirror. You get that intent back. He who laughs last laughs loudest. And we're all going to have a big giggle about this. All of us. No fear porn, no dramatizing. Ooh, oh my God, oh my God. Save that for the movie, okay? But learn to be the director first. Stand back from it. Have a look at it objectively instead of being subject. That's why you are the subject of the king or the queen. You are the subject of the government. Subject? Are you kidding? Under? Well, sub means under, and ject means put forth. You're under the ability to put forth. Now, object on the other side of it is to put out, and ject is creational darkness. Look it up, ject. Again, I look at suffixes and prefixes individually as well, but you've got things like abject, object, subject. Well, what the hell does ject mean? It's got all sorts of prefixes to it. Conjecture. It's got suffixes too. So I'm always looking for where's the heart of the word? Where's the heart? I want to dissect the heart. I want to see what makes it tick. See? Allegorically, literally, figuratively, it all works. And that's what I would do. So that's why words like subject and object are two completely opposed. Now I can show how they can mean equal and opposite. It's about my intent now. So I can take a literal definition of everything I look at and decide what I want it to mean. Can someone affect me if it's my definition, if I choose to interpret the word my way? That's why people can say anything they want to me, because I know that everything that they think they're saying through their little words and everything else is going to have an effect on me. No, it's not. Because I can take asshole and turn it into something beautiful. You can say anything you want to me, and I can turn it around in my heart, destroy it, and put it back with the right intent for me. So I transmute. I silence. I go across silence. I transmute everything in the now. Oh, coffee would be great. Thank you very much. So, tell you what, I got a great idea. I think it's a great idea. It'd be a great idea if somebody agrees. I was thinking of playing Zep Tepi by Santo Bonacci in celebration.
Yippee!
Agreed.
Okay, so that's a mote ion then? This mote ion Ka-Rees?
Moved.
Yeah, move into the delta. I'm totally there, so let's do that. And I got a trinity out of you. Love it. Okay, here we go. Santo Bonacci, Zep Tepi for 3 minutes, 40 seconds, and we'll see on the flip side, and hopefully I can maybe get my Facebook up and running. If not, who cares? It's all good. I don't need confirmation anymore because I am con fire ma tiawen. So there you go. Here's Zep Tepi. And there we go. Steve, things are coming in fast and furious here. But anyway, Steve, it seems Santa was under gag order not to talk about the farm. You can't gag me. Sorry. Stipulation. I'm just typing this as soon as I can get my computer to work. Oh my God, is not Santo right? What did I do? Oh, backspace. Never mind. I'll be okay. Oh, I guess I got rid of it. It's all good. It's out there. Anyway, but is not Santo me, magnetic electric? Go ahead. Try to gag me. Just thought of all the guys out there. Wish you would. It's all good. Anyway, this gets funnier. Am I the only one at the table now? You guys are all so quiet.
Still here.
Santos's music, Kate, put us in a really beautiful state of being.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all good, you know. I got to tell you, gag order, like that's going to happen. Not a chance. No, we just have to do it with unconditional. It's already done, you see. It's already done. Dunville. I passed through there yesterday. You know. I want on the last leg of the pier. I'm looking at. Oh, look at that, Egypt Road. Well, past Egypt. Well, first one was Moscow Road, right? Yeah, okay, past Moscow. That's that whole governmental Eastern Bloc. Yeah, the Eastern Bloc, the blocking of. Yeah. Thanks, Art. Yeah, he just got it. And then, of course, I had to pass Egypt, right? Egypt Road. Well, yeah, we're well past Egypt. You know, Egypt, who, what? Yeah, the consciousness gypped. Yeah, the consciousness got gypped. Egypt, get it? or are you an Egypt? And then, of course, what was the next one? I had to pass Herd's side road. Herd's? Yeah, so we're way past the Herds now, so that told me that we're full cause over it because I heard it the right way. You see, are you going to be part of the herd or part of the herd? Are you going to silently follow as a cattle, or are you going to be the one going, Gaia? Are you herd or herd? You see, the sound is equal. It has got completely different anagogic interpretations when you stand back and see it. You know, it's like I said earlier today, you're going to sink your ship or you're going to sink your ship. One of the two. Because if you don't synchronize your mind is going to get taken under. So you got to sink ship or you'll sink your ship. It's almost magical, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I heard you say that this afternoon, and I've just been thinking about that all day. That really resonated with me.
Wordplay. It's all in the sound.
Yeah.
Every bit of creation. Yes, you are. You know, and early yesterday, I was outstanding in the snow. Right now, I'm outstanding in the house. You're outstanding.
Right.
Everyone. Right?
That's right.
It just depends on your perspective. This is why when you regain your intent, you are getting my intent because I'm explaining it. And now you get what I'm saying about make it your intent. No one decodes words for me. No one interprets words or law for me. I'm okay with that note because I found love. And love conquers all. Literally. Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, I'm looking forward to Santo coming in and explain a bit more of the language crystal book. And I need to check my email, which I haven't for a couple of days, to see if Bill got back to me, because I love to. I think Bill is a whole lot more game, and of course, doesn't he keep me under control or what? Anyway, more game to come in, you know, because I gotta tell you, there are many times, and I'm sure many of you have thought along this line as well, that, you know, here's a guy in the early to late 80s coming out with some of the most profound allegorical truths, completely in the face of a still very indoctrinated religio-cosus chosenitis planet. And I can only imagine, I can't imagine because of, you know, how long I've been talking, 3 years now, about the legal name being the trap. Like any use of it. And only in the last little while has that really fully come into view. Where people are going, you know what, I think she's got a point. So I have a very, very microcosmic version of Bill's macrocosmic viewpoint, because he went through it for years, like many years. And you heard us, a little bit of reluctance. So I was reluctant to do this because he stood alone for so long. And I have to say, for the first time, probably, Bill will be walking onto a stage with tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people to cheer him for what he did. What a superstar. I'd say that's, wow. I mean, that one goes down in the, what do they call it? Hall of Fame Oscar room. You know, fa me. The root note of me, fame. Fa, root note, M-E, magnetic electric. Do you see how it's everywhere?
Yes, I felt that when you were talking with him, the resonance of the love and he's no longer alone. When you said there's like 60,000 people just on the call at this table.
Yeah.
That resonate, He goes, let me investigate what this means to me, because there's this paradigm shift for him now to actually step in to a place where there's that many people resonating with him, and he can consciously connect with that. He's here. He's already at the table. The call's coming.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I can only imagine sitting back, being in that position for so long, to suddenly have Bill. I told him at the end of the show, I said, buddy, you're a rock star of the highest order, of the highest magnitude. You are loved by countless tens and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Look what you did. You changed me. I'm your co-creation. And I, as part of that, got to change my reality, and we all get to change our reality accordingly. See how we weave so beautifully together. It's incredible. How can you not think you're not God? That's the joke.
Exactly. It was perfect timing. You needed to talk to Bill. You needed to be the one to talk to him, at that point.
Yeah.
It was, like we know, everything's in divine order. It was the perfect connection him to hear that.
Can I give you my story on that?
Yes, please.
I haven't shared it on the air yet, and I'm going to share it with you right now. I've shared it with a few people, because I got to tell you, as soon as Santa got grabbed, I went, oh no. What have I done? You ready for this? I howled.
Yeah.
Okay, here's how the movie plays out. Remember I said accept all things. So that's what got me through this. Because, cab driver knows what's going on. Everything's perfect. I see the beautiful ending. It's magical. I'm on the edge of my seat here going, wait for it. And we're at the top of the roller coaster on that. Now we're getting ready for the exhilaration ride. We've climbed to the top of that mountain. So when I was living in the tent, my sister's place out in the yard, I hadn't been introduced to Bill that long, but I probably already watched maybe 20 or 30 of his videos. And I remember sitting at the table outside. Beautiful. It was actually early, so it was I think it was in August. Beautiful sunny day. And this thought hit me, and it had nothing attached to it. But this thought hit me that I knew. Because I at that point, I knew that Bill wasn't actively doing any sort of radio stuff, or, he was essentially just uploading but he was uploading the work of many years, of countless hours of dedication to the internet. And I thought to myself, it hit me. I said, I'm going to be the one to be the first to interview Bill on radio. And I basically started hounding him then. Okay? So this is August 2012. And I had just come out of the house thing, family destroyed, everything. And, of course, at that time, my brother-in-law was just about to pass away, my Gemini brother-in-law. And so it was a very intense, very heavy time for me. And I remember I was sitting there, and the thought hit me, and I didn't think it, I knew it. I said, I'm going to be the first one to interview Bill. Because I know he's never done it, but I had a feeling. So I put my intention out. Bill, I'd love to get you on the show. And that time I was with Fraudum Rains. And I've sent many emails. I've had many emails back and forth with Bill. And he said, yeah, Kate, I'm going to call. I'm going to talk to you. And it never happened. But I knew why. I knew intuitively I knew why, because it wasn't time yet. And then about 3 weeks or a month ago, this post came up on my Facebook page, and it had, for the first time ever, Santo Bonacci interviewing Bill Donahue, and there was no emotion attached to it. But you know what I said? God said, that's not right. That's not right. And nothing about Bill or nothing about Santo, nothing ever entered that equation. It was completely neutral of going, wait a minute, that's not the script. Literally, that's not the script. That's not. And it had nothing to do with me. I really have to separate. And I need people to get this. Separate yourself from all to be part of all. And when you get there, there are no doubts left. I'm thinking, shit, I wonder how the universe is going to work this out. I was accepting all things. A week later, Santo gets grabbed. I'm thinking, oh, shit. So that's how this is going to work out. Okay, that's not really kind of what I... Remember the genie? What you wish for? Yeah. Well, it had to be, because everything has to be perfect. And then, Santo, okay, good. He's in the belly of the beast. The only one I know of that has that ability to stand there with Excalibur and just gut the thing from the inside out, educate a whole bunch of new synchronicity school people, and then come out in a blaze of glory, And at that point, I hadn't heard anything whether I was going to be interviewing or not. And then Ruth contacted me, of course. And then, as I knew, without it. Oh, did we lose Joe? Hope that. 1 sec, or did we get bumped? I think I just lost Joe. 1 sec. Remember, hence the. Okay, 1 sec. Just going to the call here, and yeah, she's having a little problem. Move to that sweet spot again, Joe. The other drawback. Yeah, but intuitively, I knew that everything would be not only perfect, but would get better and better perfect as we go along. And here we are. Yeah, no problem. Joe, just answer. Just pop back in. Pop back in. There we go. And when I took all of the emotions, everything out of it, all of the drama, all of the literals, Bill Donohue's on about all of that stuff, when I got rid of it, I just saw the energy. And lo and behold, there it happened. Because I accepted all things. And the universe has worked it out, not only for the potential of a couple of superstars with Bill and Santo getting together. What it did was it created superstars of all. And I think that's just beautiful. Me, I'm just a mouthy tranny that plays with words. That's all. I'm going to see if I can pull Joe back in. Oh, crazy. Internet's fun, isn't it? All right. There she is. Let me see if I can pop her back in the call. Call back up. Okay. So hence that was the last thing that Joe had mentioned. Joe, you there? They're still ringing. Can you feel the energy? Is it electric or what? Wow. I know it's electric because you guys are quiet.
Yeah, it's pure electric.
Yes.
There you are.
It's all across the globe, too. It just is going all across the globe. That's like the best feeling. You just see everyone talking about it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and AJ came in with Fire of the Aries. You're damn straight. Damn straight,
Yeah.
Now, Bill is Cancerian, right? So he's also at the top point of the zodiac. So
plus.
Well, plus minus for Cancer, but it connects directly to the Gemini at the top of the zodiac, right? So you get the plus minus. So you got to have something to balance it out, right?
Mhm.
So, and then Santo being the plus, Aries, Gemini plus me, Cancer plus minus. So it's all in the absolute creation. And there's lots of other tie-ins that I see. This is the thing is I know my game plan. I put my pattern into the sewing machine. My pattern card, zodiac, name, life, everything, experience. Put that that computer card into the sewing machine, and it stitched out this pattern for me to follow. And that's what I do. I just follow the pattern. I don't have to do anything because I came here with the design. Why the hell do I want to change it? It was perfect when I created it. So here I am with Leo Ascendant alongside Santo. He's Aries. I've got an Aries midheaven. I'm heir to his fire. You think that boy's not going to rage? Are you kidding me? So, and Bill brings that beautiful emotional feel to it too, right? I mean, you guys see him. I just
yeah.
It's electric to watch him. And Santo. Oh, we got Elvita. I got Joe back. So Joe, hence the
uh-oh.
Yeah, no kidding. Said,
uh-oh. Exactly. Just the obvious.
Yeah, I wonder how the universe is going. I knew the universe would sort it out great. But you can get the feeling as to what might have kind of ran through me until I muted it and transmuted it, right? So it's like, it's all good. Santo's going to be superstar, and Bill, yeah, it's good. And I gotta be completely fair on this too. It wouldn't make sense for Santo and Bill to be talking, because it would all be in the very literal allegorical, working together. Because these are the two masters that I love to cherry pick from the most. So it didn't make sense. I'm on with Santo all the time. You hear me cherry pick with him. So it only made sense to me. I got to cherry pick with Bill, and he gets to see how friggin' magnificent he is. That's all I'm trying to do, is show people how beautiful and empowered they are. That's what I do. And I always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Well, that bride is finally showing up, and we can get into Bible allegory and what the bridegroom is too, right? But anyway, there we go. Elvita, I got you in the call too, hon. How are you, Gemini?
I am great. Besides the cold, but other than that, I'm great, and I'm feeling good. I'm so glad Santos will be here with us soon.
Yep.
Yes. It's so peaceful now. Like, I'm at peace, okay?
There you go.
Yep.
All right. Amy says that she's Aquarian and loved the new age. I also knew it would come to pass. Of course, we always knew this. So all things new are brand new. Of course it's Aquarius. What part of I don't know, do people not get about the I believe, I don't believe? Well, we'll leave that for the Pisceans with their feet still in the water with hooks in them. It's okay. We'll pull them up. It's all good. We all win here. There is no good. There is no evil. There is creation.
Yep, that's where we come in.
Exactly.
Help them out a whole lot.
Absolutely. And I have another caller too. It's one of those 111111111 numbers, whatever. So the mic's open, so you can jump in at any time. I have no way to reference who it is, so there you go.
Oh, is it me by any chance?
Well, yes, it would be you, because you're the only one that hasn't said anything yet. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Kate? I'm Barbie from Panama City. I just wanted to call and tell you how much we all love you, and we appreciate how much you hold the space for everybody. You're just so appreciated. And you're right, Santos and Bill are the bomb.
They are the bomb, baby. They are the get the shit done, cherry picking, perfect crop field for me to go hang out. And where the hell am I going to hang out? Some desert island somewhere? No. I'm going where the orchards are the ripest, and and there's a few others in there too. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. My phone just goes in and out. But isn't it funny? Can you imagine anybody gagging Santos? I just wow.
Yeah, the Gaia, indeed. Yeah, sure. Okay. That ain't going to happen.
Good. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to make sure that you knew how much everybody loves you and appreciates you. Look
mirror, hon.
Every. All right, baby. Keep the love.
Right.
It's our biggest resource. Spread it everywhere.
'Tis the only one that I'm worried about, and I'm not worried about it, right? So it's all good. About holding the space. I can't. My little pattern that I printed out says that I am the most stubborn, unyielding Irish tranny bitch you will ever encounter. Once I get a hold of something, I will never let it go. Regarding truth.
Yeah, you're a dog. You're like a dog with a bone. What I like to call that. That's me too.
Yeah. System. This is true.
Anyway, you have a great evening. I love you.
Love you too, hon. Love everybody. And I don't say that lightly. I say it lightly.
Oh, I do love everybody because they're me. We're all one.
Mm-hmm.
We're all one. You have to love.
Joe said it earlier. We're having a relationship with ourselves. We are learning to love ourselves, right? I mean, who else are we going to love? There's only one.
That's the only way that it can be fixed is with love. When people understand that, because everybody wants the same thing. They just want to have their little family. They don't want to have to. I look so forward to be able to walk outside and go for a walk. It doesn't matter if it's 1 o'clock in the morning because I don't have to be afraid. And I know it's going to happen. And it's going to be a beautiful world.
Yep. Walk with no fear, head high, because the cab driver knows the way. All you got to do is hand them the keys.
That's why everybody goes and does all this consumerism. They're all looking for a connection. And they're filling themselves up this big hole inside them. And what they really need is each other.
And the best part, the timeline that we're sliding to has the new and improved versions of all in it. So you're going to see all of this just melt away because it doesn't exist in the timeline we're working towards. Not in my reality. I have a beautiful, beautiful reality.
Yes. Well, you create your own reality.
Well, yeah, and I've created some pretty good nightmares, but I got the contrast. It's fun. It's a game.
Oh, yeah. It's a big chess game.
Now that you can all see the board, it's a whole lot easier to play, especially when you know that the other game pieces are glued down. There is no enemy. The only enemy there is within. And as soon as you get past that part, the game gets a whole lot easier, and there's a whole lot less conflict. And then you find the accepting all things actually works. But boy, what a road to get here.
We're all playing a role in what everyone likes to call the cabal or whatever. I like to call them our partners in contrast. They're doing a very important part. How else are you going to wake up humanity? I mean, I keep asking myself, what more can Obama do to make you people pissed off and wake up and go, something's not right? But, they're doing
the guy's trying. Yeah, he's trying. How many people have to... No, you're right. How many people have to get beat to death in the streets by cops for them to wake up and realize that carrying the ID, you're consenting to it? Stop doing that.
Well, that gets really... I understand all that, but people, they have baby feet a lot of times. What are you going to do?
Let me take you to the next level on that one.
Okay.
You're the only one that's real. You're the only one that's observing the entire movie from my point of view, whereas I'm your point of view. I am just a voice in your head, hon. Everything outside of you is just a voice in your head. None of it is real. This is virtual reality. So if you can envision this whole place, it feels very real. This is the literal illusion that we get trapped in. That's where the emotions come from. But once you get here, you can step in and out at will. But I also know that nothing outside of me is real. It is me. I'm creating this in my mind. You are creating all of this. I've said before.
I know. I've been told that. I've learned that. But it is still a hard grasp, and you're a little bit notched up on me. But I do know that what I have learned to do in the last things learned quickly, that energy was coming in. But I've learned to balance and take a lot of the emotion out. Boy, that makes life easy. Because you just start seeing it for what it is, a game.
Yeah, sit down and watch one of the, watch a movie like Saving Private Ryan as a comedy. And you will get it. You will get it. How can you watch that the pay of a flag and die? Yeah, you see, look, you're caught in the literal. When you see what's going on magnetically and electrically, you will bust a seam laughing.
Just you saying it's making me laugh.
It's like, oh my God, look what we actually did to ourselves, in the illusion of ourselves in the movie, and it's like, oh my God, Hitler, and but you're right, that point of consciousness, Obama, how many more of these draconian laws do I have to pass before these guys fucking wake up? It's friggin' hilarious.
It's kind of like at the point when they kept saying it would kind of like get the Keystone Cops thing, where you just watch it and go, I can't believe this is really happening. This is too funny.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of like...
It's like this voice.
It is like watching a movie. I mean, kind of life is like watching a movie, because it is a movie.
It is. You are the resistance to fear porn. Hey, take the clown suit off, Alex. I get it. Get out of the car. I know. It's all good.
I'm sure there's some alien up there watching us as a reality show. Can you imagine that?
That's what it is. It's a fractal reality show. That's why I said at the beginning of the show, you got to get your sponsors. What kind of performance are you doing? I mean, how many wars, in the movie, are you going to sit through? So you want a sponsor, you want consciousness to come to your assistance, because that's what a sponsor is. We're here in the physical, separated from that, playing a game, thinking it's real. So you want the sponsors? Then entertain them. Go for the Nielsen's ratings. Ian Lungold put it perfectly. This is a game of ratings. Are you?
Which channel do you want to tune into tonight?
Exactly. Oh, let's turn back to the war in Iraq Bush thing. Oh, that's boring. What else we got, hun? Hey, let's tune into the freaky tranny bit. She's a mouthy one. I love that show. You know?
You got to keep your
story wins.
Give me more, give me more. Give it straight from the heart.
I mean, really, who can turn off a good comedy act?
Exactly, but I kind of will be glad when they turn this one off.
Well, hey, do you want to hear what's really cool? Check this out. I love this part of the movie. Okay, we just came out of Pisces. That's the feet. Moving up into the shins and the calves. Look how much more of the game we got to go, and it's just going to keep getting better. We got the knees, the thighs. Wait till we get to the age of Scorpio. That's going to be a fucking riot.
I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I know you knew that. Okay, and then we get and right back up to Aries, and that's great. This is really getting boring. What do you want to do? Let's go back down to the feet and kick the shit out of each other again. That was fun.
I just want us to wake up.
Oh, we are.
Well, I mean, I'm awake, but I want everybody to wake up.
Well, that's what I mean. You are everyone. So the more you awaken, the more everyone else shows up in your timeline awake. It's like, about time you had that thought. Here we are.
You are right about that. You are right. And then the people that fall away, that you kind of mourn for a while, and then you find out, I don't really miss them. I don't know what I was so upset about. So I don't really miss them.
Well, you get emotional attachments. That's part of the virtual reality drama game that we're playing here. But here's the joy of what I'm talking about, where I'm at, is I can look at something now and choose for myself what I want to experience. Can I go and fall in love? Yes. Is it going to own me again? No, but I'm going to play. I cannot be controlled by my emotions any longer. I will experience that which I choose to. That's the Capricorn. That's the experience part. You choose the experience now.
Yeah, the thing is no attachment.
None.
No attachment. Just a game, and I'm sorry, I do look forward to the day when I take the clothes off and return to where I really am. Unless we're going to create the new Earth. I'll stay here. I'm going to stay here for the new Earth.
Yeah, well, whatever that is in your reality is great. Thing is, we're going back to knowing our whole self. We never left it. We had the illusion when we came in here as a point of consciousness, a photon into the conception, the Q. That's our Q, remember? Okay, Barbie, this is your cue, and roll them. And bam, there you are, your cue. The ovum with the sperm inseminating it. Is that a coincidence? No, there are none, remember? Yeah. Okay, so that's your cue when you come in here. That's why the Q continuum was so popular in the Star Trek thing.
Bill says proton is God. Isn't that what he says? Proton is God?
Well, yeah, again, it's photon. You pronounce it. He says photon, I say photon. I interpret that word my way. The root note of creation, the photon. I create my own law to find T and keep climbing the scale, baby. And we'll get back to the Aries God mode, and it'll be all great for a while. We'll go, this is getting boring. Like I said, let's go back and kick the shit out of each other again, Pisces. Let's play that one again. Okay, and we do it. And then we'll be at the table again, just like this, because this point will always exist, because it always has and always will. And we'll, oh yeah, now I remember, fuck. We're playing the game of forget me not.
When we're all sitting around talking about this, going, man, can you believe this? That is going to be the funnest conversation.
Oh yeah, look what I fell for.
when we all remember, we really remember, and we sit and talk about this, this is going to be funny.
Mm-hmm. And the constant thought that crosses my mind before I do shout-outs is the more I awaken every instant, it keeps building that crescendo of there is no going back and there's no reversing back there, because I know that the more that we gather together and get the information together and have these resonation moments, that the whole reality shifts and we slide further to the spirit breath, the row of the right, So a quick shout out for to everyone. You guys can call in at 661-467-2401, and of course you can refresh the page on Blog Talk if the Skype button isn't there, and you can click on Skype and call that way. Once you're on the board, all you have to do is hit 1 on your dial pad, or open the dial pad for Skype and hit 1 there. That will bring you in, just like that, on area code 250. I think that might be Bryce. And big thank you to Paul Giovanni for our rated PG parental guidance movie here at criticalmassradio.co.uk, where we, the directors, choose the movie and we watch it in full before our very eyes selves. Get it? It's so awesome. And anyone that wants to transmute any of that filthy lucre into pure loving intent, well, flip over to the donate or the subscribe on Critical Mass. But remember this. You don't have to. Everything there is available free. And anyone that charges for any truth takes the spirit breath free and makes it a fee. Fee? That's just fi, fo, fum. Where are you if you're the fee? You got a long way to go. Best pick up. That's where the dead giant resides. And guess what happens when Jack puts the crown on? He rules the giants. And that's the allegory. It's beautiful. So a great big thank you again to Paul G. and the crew at Critical Mass. This table is, I've said it for a long time, is not on the cutting edge of this reality. It is the cutting edge of this reality. QT, the queuing of love, ing, the action thereof. So there you go. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes till we roll over, so if you're going to call in, you better do so now. Again, number 661-467-2401. And I hope to be on the board. This is your table, so get to it. Buffet's wide open. We got truth galore at this table.
Let me roll.
Yeah, how's it going, Kate?
Is it Bryce?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I just had to say, it was a great show that you guys had on Friday night there with Bill, and I just listened to both shows today. But I listen to the show every day at work, and it's almost like I just totally lose track of time while I'm working, and the day just goes by like in a snap of a finger. And then I get to come home, and then I get to listen to the show all night. And really, I mean, there's so many aha moments, but I just love the fact that Santos got out, and I was checking the posts and trying to spread them around at the same time. And I've been talking to Main Manifest quite a bit. I was kind of hoping he was going to be on tonight. He's got such a really good, positive attitude about everything,
Oh, exactly. Now,
yeah.
I'm going to actually pull Santo's Skype into the call here.
I'm going to mute out then and
No. He's not at the table yet. I'm just showing that the table's set for him. And Amy, I'll have to pull you in, sweetie. Just give me a second here. I'm going to break all the rules tonight. 1 sec. Let me get to Santo. Oh, there it is. So that way I know that he's in the call with us. And AJ, I'm going to have to... 1 sec. There we go. Give me a second, hon, and I will bring you in. And let's do that. So... Yeah, just it's ringing on Santos, and again, this is I put things into the reality. This is my intention, and he gets the computer, he'll see that I've called, and he'll jump in. Depends on how quick he gets home. It's all good, either or, And Amy, are you there? Okay, I heard someone cough. Now I've got. Oh, here we go.
I am.
There you are.
I'm here.
All right, and I've got...
I tried to mute. I'm double timing, so I'm going to mute for 1 more second until I figure out how to mute my other.
Okay, no problem. I've got Ika Charisma in here too, and Stop Puck Now, or Stop UC No, or Stow PP Intentional Unconditional Love in the Spirit of the Now. Well, you have a meaning for it, but I'll put it in my own Phoenicians. So there you go. Anybody?
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I'm on mute.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, yes, I can hear my voice. Hi, everyone. I'm Eka, calling from Holland. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm so glad I can reach you, and I was so nervous and didn't dare to call. And at the end, I couldn't figure out how to dial 1, so here I am.
Excellent.
I spent the whole evening about your language and vibrations and words and all the stuff you said. And, you know, somehow it's an incredible freedom when you don't have any emotional attachment to a language. And when you're just like a you were put aside from all the intent. Someone who somehow is a native to a language, or believes in the intent he puts in the words that somehow are harmful. Hello.
Yeah, we're here. I'm listening, hon. You're absolutely right, and you nailed it right out of the gate.
Because I'm tired of the whole bullshit around me, and I have so many things to say that I'm just numb, and I don't dare to open my mouth because I don't know what will come out of it. And so much experience of how and behavior and not have people have no jobs working here and there, so scared for the money, for who and what thinks about them. And I have no idea where I should begin, but yeah.
You're doing great.
This is the beginning somehow.
Oh, Eka, is it Ika or Eka?
Eka.
Eka, look at you. E, consciousness, Ka, spirit. So you're consciousness, spirit. And I oh my goodness. I know life path.
This is not my official name.
Doesn't matter. You
yes.
picked it.
No, that was somehow the work of my brother.
Well, you picked. Your brother's you.
Yes, it happened from my childhood since I'm 2 years old or something like that. And thinking of all the sounds now and listening to you, I have to tell you that a few times listening to you and Santos, I was just crying because I couldn't believe that there are awakened people. Because here around me, it's just like, and not just here, because going out of Holland, I do meet other people and people around me who are so proud to call themselves artists and somehow so limited, even in their perception, even in the lie of what they, in the lie of the lie. They even can't till the end experience the lie, just because they're so focused on just a few things, and nothing out of that is a lie.
I love your energy. The energy that you are putting out right now is just the intent I'm feeling is I've got no words to explain this. I've got no words to explain this, and it's beautiful.
My head is full, but we need to make a different contact. And yeah, so I will go again because I'm a bit nervous now. And
hon, it's just a phone call. And are you in my Skype contacts?
Yes, I am. Okay. And I did send you a heart, and I love you.
Love you too. Listen, I give out my Skype contact for that reason, so that people can connect. I want this to feel
you are
normal.
Reading, and you have a message there that please read good because otherwise you will be deleted. And I don't dare to give a sign. I was thinking to write you an email, and then I thought, oh, but I am craving a personal contact with you. I was even thinking to call you just on the phone to hear your voice and to. I heard something you were talking about in the beginning with Santos. I couldn't orient myself very well in the conversation. I do understand you had some difficulties in your life and all that, and I just wanted to call you and to tell you, you always have a roof in my house. As long as I have a roof, you have it too. So
we all do.
If everyone needs help and a shelter, you're always welcome. I just wanted to call you for that, and I didn't dare to write in Skype or Facebook and all that shit, and I thought I would just call you personally to tell you, listen, don't worry. If you ever need a shelter, a roof above your head, just come.
I gotta tell you, you've seen bag ladies before. They'll have their little bags and live in the street, whatever. I've actually taken on the role of trying to be the classiest bag lady you'll ever find, and I drop. I've said that to the universe, and the universe always delivers because it's perfect. All I need, really tough, is pillow. And, the car works, tents work, everything works. A pillow, an internet connection on my computer. And of course, there's a couple of... Oh, got a minute and a half until we roll over here, guys. But, and other things that I needed as far as, my storage unit, it basically works out to a couple of $100 a month plus, gas and whatever. That always gets covered. It always, and sometimes it's very close, but it always gets, I don't worry about it. And I have to say a great big thank you to those that do chip in. You keep me mouthing off at the table. That's what you're causing. Nothing but that. You're causing me to sit at this table and just do what I do. And thank you. Universe sees that. And here's the thing. The wishes that you have granted towards me in that regard are coming back at you a millionfold. You are all superstars. And won't you be in awe and amazed at the abundance, the true abundance of creation. You should see the ending of my movie. I can't see it yet, but I know it's spectacularly wow in all amazing ways. I got superstars right across the board. It's a full star cast, baby. No extras in my movie.
Listen, Kate, if you ever feel like, just give me a sign on Skype, even if it's just for a minute or two.
Oh, what? Right now?
No, whenever you feel like.
Well, how about right now with a big fat moise, big kiss?
Yeah, okay. I'm still air. Oh, hello.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about Skype. I can talk to someone on this call and then type into their text box in another.
Yeah, I'm here.
Actually, if you can, Kate, give me your link again for that email because I had it on one account and I don't have it again. And I'd definitely like to shoot something. Well, thank you.
It's Victoria. Of course it had to be Victoria. You can't make this shit up. It's so funny. It's coleman.victoria@gmail.com. COLEMAN.Victoria@gmail.com.
Awesome, got it.
Thank you. There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
Amy bugging in again.
Yep.
You are so great, and you've never read the language crystals. I highly recommend it. You understand it, and yet you haven't read it.
Yeah, well,
it's
download.
It's in your brain, and it comes magically to you, well, however you want to say. But it's a great book, and I recommend it.
I'm looking forward.
And that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a copy of it, or basically writing it in my head as part of consciousness, right? Because this is for me the confirmations of the intuitive, right? Whenever someone comes to me and says, have you read this book by so-and-so? Because you're saying the exact same things, and I love saying, no, I haven't. So that tells me that I'm getting the downloads that others have already got that I haven't read. So this is the way of confirming my own intuitive reality. So when this happens, you get more and more confident with it, and the gates open up more and more, and the thoughts get deeper and deeper. Because even when Santa was talking about the language crystal, I was hearing things in it that I was taking to an anagogic level, like taking it, for me, even further, because that to me is a beautiful foundation. And not to say that I can't learn something. Oh, please. This is what I do. I love it because it gives me an opportunity to, practice the mastery of it with experts.
Exactly. And you're already there in your mindset. I think the book will just add to your mindset.
Oh yeah, like when I finally get a copy of it, I'm looking forward to sitting down. What I think of probably a better way is just go hook up with Santo and read his copy with him. I like that game better.
Me as well. But I had to have it to hold it in my hands.
There you go. I got to bring Brendan in from Paradigm Shift Radio. Hopefully he can answer his...
Muting now.
Oh, no worries. But thank you for that, because I do appreciate it when all mics are open. If you can mute on your end, and which reminds me, stop Puck now. You had your speakers on, so I'm going to open your mic up again, and hopefully we're not getting any feedback, because it was creating a feedback loop. So let me see. If you're not talking, please turn your speakers down if you're on Skype. Try that again. And if you're not talking, just mute out on your end and open your mic whenever you want to talk, then close it. That way you don't have dogs barking and, sirens going off and whatever. Yes, there are occasions that you're talking and that goes off in the background, no big deal, but it's just a courtesy for everybody. So I've got Brendan in the call. I've got Stop Puck Now in the call, and I've got area code 480 in the call. So everyone's mic is open.
I'm in the call.
Hey, who we got?
This is David from Chandler.
Hey, how are you, David?
Great. How are you?
Well, I don't know. How am I? Am I doing okay? Are we having fun?
You're beautiful.
Well, we're having fun.
I can't believe Santos is out. It's fucking awesome.
Well, of course it's in my movie.
I know. It's in mine, too. I'm just trying to get used to being the producer.
Being God? Yeah, it's tough. It takes a bit of getting used to. Do you see what I mean? It's so amazing. Oh, go ahead.
Man, it's crazy. I've been drinking distilled water like crazy, and even just started drinking tea a little bit, and that's so foreign from just like a year ago. But the health benefits just from that, and also my head waking up even more and broadening out has been insane. And listening to the show all the time just is, it's almost euphoric. It brings up so many connections and so many dots. The other day, you guys, someone wrote you about something about the fear porn shit where they're like, you're too right brain or whatever, you're too on one side of things.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I've almost wanted to call in sometimes and say the same thing, and then I'm like, no, just listen a little longer and you'll figure it out a little bit better. But one thing I'm confused on a little bit is I've watched a lot of Nassim Haramehn's work. And
that's interesting.
The infinite point of... What's that?
Sorry, Amy, mute on your end, hon. Okay, go ahead.
But his story is really awesome. You've watched him, right?
Oh, Nassim is one of the guys as a go-to. What Nassim does is so beautiful because he has explained so much of what I've said in a very literal way, I hear him differently, right? When I'm listening to him, and of course everyone's going to hear at whatever level they're going to hear at. And the joy of Nassim Harriman was he dispelled a whole lot of previously thought of notions, like the heliocentric universe, where everything's just in a flat thing, where it goes back to Dr. Bat, the late great Dr. Bat, who was explaining that the sun and the planets are moving through in a spiral. Right, and of course it had to be a spell because it's the word. What's it? Like a whirlybird? Word, world, world around. Right, so absolutely. Everything had to be in that. And what he does so beautifully is he displays it visually, but you got to get past the clue. These are all clues. Everything in front of you is a clue, and a clue in French is nail.
Well, it was
when
just
he explains this story. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, there was a post yesterday that Ross had shared with me with Nassim, and it was like the Earth has been around for how many billions of years, and then you take a look at how long humanity's been around, and really it equates to like the damage we've done in 4 hours as opposed to 1 minute on the planet.
Yeah, that was.
It was cool. Yeah. Did you end up seeing that too?
Yeah, I did. I reposted it actually too. And
nice. Maybe it was one of yours that I shared.
Nice. Well, it's yours.
There you go.
Yeah,
waiting for someone to do that. That's ours. Yay, team!
This whole 9 thing, right? The beautiful number 9. It's his story when he's telling it when he's a little kid. And he's the savant that everyone is ridiculing and getting kicked out of classes and all that. And he has his out-of-body experience on the bus, and he's 9 years old. And he goes all the way out of the bus into the top of the solar system and out of it, and then back into the bus and back in his hand and down into atoms. And then he goes home and he tells his mom, he's like, Mom, I love school. And everything's infinite and it's everywhere and da-da-da-da. She's like, Mijo, I just worked for 9 hours. I don't feel very infinite. Go to bed. And the whole thing about it being infinite and finite in the same exact thing is kind of where I get a little confused about like the darker side of humanity and some of the fear porn shit that is going around. And since we all are gods, even every single one of us, and we all can manifest whatever we want to and whatever we intend to, isn't the bigger group of idiots or whatever you want to call them going to try to manifest something extremely big to try to sidetrack that in a significant way?
Oh, if you buy into it, you bring up a very critical point here. This is why I rail against, I can look at any fear porn and turn it into a glorious thing. All of it. I do it all the time.
You did it yesterday. On someone's page. I liked both of them on yours. But you flipped something right around on it. And like... Yeah,
my intention.
Exactly, and I loved how you flipped it. So like with this whole fear porn about the $100 bill, the new one, and how it's got the nuclear devastation on it, and the Super Bowl being in New York and all this shit.
I see that as consciousness explosion. Well, again, see, intention can only manifest if it gets agreement. I don't agree with any of it, you see. That's the joy of me. So I will take, like the one headline today had something about the queening down to her last million. And I'm thinking, well, literally thinking, oh, it's a million. Hang on, this gets funnier. Down to her last $1 million. It says, no. What that's telling you is that the original Q, right, the queen, that's what a QN queen is down to the last down to the last million. So that is the MyL ion or IO mine. So what it says to me is that the system has just used up its last intent ion. The creation is over. So I call it on the spot and I go, yeah, good, game over. Creation of truth.
Okay. And the weird part about it, for I guess the unprogramming can't wrap its head around it. Like, a lot of us had this kind of a feeling before the whole 9/11 bullshit, and that still happened in the physical reality, right?
Yeah.
And
it's illusion.
So what
it's literal.
What stops
you
from...
when they said the world was...
Yeah, you stop it by changing your mind. Not on my watch, baby. The only thing that happens on my watch is what I interpret my law to be, because I am full cause now. I have my crow back. I've had it back for a while. I just had to figure out how to use it. And now that I do, I started the show off with, Santa's out. Get over it. It's all good. It's perfect. Next thing you know, within, 20 minutes of that? Oh, Santa was free. I know. I don't think. I don't believe. I know.
It's really funny. It's a lot like in 2012, December 21st, where they said that the world was going to end, and then everybody woke up the next day and realized, hey, like, we have an unwritten future that nobody can really dictate or say what's going to happen,
Yeah, Brendan, was that you that jumped in?
Hey, Kate, this is Brendan. Can I jump in?
Oh, please, Brendan. I got to tell you, I've been bragging about you since we talked. I don't know if you caught any of the show or not, but between you and Noah that night.
I haven't, no.
Oh my God, it was awesome.
That was fun.
Oh, it was beyond fun. So many people tagged me right after that. That I think that was the first time they'd ever heard the mouthy tranny. But you changed. You see, this is the power you all have. You all change the world with your connections. Can you connect?
Mm-hmm.
I do, and I love it. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's kind of trippy because literally I woke up like I was asleep. I'm kind of in like this weird cold phase right now, and when you have a cold and you take a nap and your naps are always kind of trippy sort of thing. So anyways, I woke up. Yeah, exactly. So I literally woke up 15 minutes ago, and then I check my news feed, and the first thing I see is Santos is out and everything like that, and I'm just like, what? Am I really awake right now, sort of thing? But and then right away I'm just like, oh, awesome, tune into your show and get synced up and everything. But of course that's wonderful news for all of us, because like you said, I think what that verifies is this idea that we have chosen to align with that reality, and even just what the caller was just talking about there for a second, sort of fear porn behind the 2012 type stuff back in the day. I was always curious about that concept, because I always wondered, how much of a choice was there actually? In some part of our subconscious, was there actually, or in some part of this metaphysical multiverse universe, were there actually parallel realities that existed where catastrophic shit did go down? And if that's something that you really saw, or you really sort of had your vibration aligned with, then in some way there actually is a parallel reality where people existed in a world where crazy shit did happen on December 21st, 2012. But the fact that you're alive and you're experiencing this one mean that you chose to align yourself with this vibration. Just again, in the same way that we've aligned ourselves with the vibration, we've stepped into the universe where Santos is free, because that is the one that is bringing the most growth into our soul, sort of thing. So, but I'm really excited about it. It's wonderful news, obviously.
I think I talked about Santo being out on your show. That's where my focus is, because that's my reality.
Yeah, we cast that spell, literally, and obviously it was heard by the universe, and it's actually even just just to give an example of the type of things that I do, and if you want, give me permission, and I'll just tell people where they can connect with me or whatever. But what I was going to say,
doesn't need permission. This is Brendan. You can connect with him through Paradigm Shift Radio. Give out all your information. This is what this table is about. Get it out there.
Totally. Well, the main website. Those of you who hadn't checked out the show, me and Kate did a show just last Sunday, and if you go to ParadigmShiftCentral.com, it's this project that I've been working on for the past 5 years that I started while I was still in college, and the whole idea was behind it was to be able to bring more consciousness into this world. And it started off as a single club inside my college, and the club was just an open discussion club where we talked about the same type of stuff that Kate talks about here on the radio show, just to really think outside the box and so forth. And through the media that was creating, because I went to school for television production and all sorts of stuff. I ended up encouraging this. I created this ongoing story, and now through the radio show that we do at facebook.com/Paradigm Shift Radio, there's multiple Paradigm Shift communities across the world. So long story short, like this single ripple has created this huge wave. Now I'm connected with like all sorts of shifters across the world. But what I was going to say is just a cool story, just as terms of inspiration for people listening to this. Going way back to the December 21st, 2012 thing, like my mindset that I had carrying into it was that like on that day, me and my friends actually like went out and we were doing like free hugs and conscious sign holding downtown in my city. And I actually made a video of this. And if you go to my YouTube, youtube.com/SkullBabylon, you can find it there. But in the video, I say, you know, like a lot of people say that 2012, December 21st, like something's going to happen. Well, I say that we make something happen. Like we choose what it is that we will use within this portal, within this opportunity, because so much energy was invested into that day. And rather than just sitting back and like watching what happens, I'm like, no, like I'm going to make something happen. And then we went out there and we were like giving free hugs right down in the like the core of Babylon, as I say, like right in downtown London, Ontario, Canada. And it's just a really cool example, just something that I just want to like share with people in terms of the fact that people such as myself are out there. And even my name, like Skull Babylon, in terms of like the phonetics and the meaning behind the name, the way how I interpret the pseudonym that I use, Skull Babylon, is a simple idea. It means rebirth from within. So like skull can obviously mean like life and death, and Babylon refers to like the system, the matrix. So Skull Babylon means rebirthing the matrix, rebirthing the system from within, which is exactly what I do through the media that I create, and also literally by physically going downtown with free hug signs and connecting people to my local Paradigm Shift community. But it's just like
Brendan, just want to keep going. I want you to keep going, but I want to show you how perfect you are in phonics. Of course, you had to be a school. You can sound like a U, can it not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
School Babylon. So what do you think you're going to when you go to school, boys and girls? You're entering the skull of Babylon.
Yes. Yeah,
flip it back and forth. No rules.
This is fucking awesome. Can you talk about the St. John's site, Brendan? That video on there. I've been waiting to watch it, but this is something we've been talking about here. About, I don't know what you guys are knowledge about it, but I'd love to hear it. About astral projecting, like waking up and having that other sight that has kind of been blocked.
Just like the topic of lucid dreaming and astral projection in general?
Well, yeah, and where you guys are at with this. And about how Saban is talking about how we're going to how we're, in a way, waking in the spiritual world where we really have control of this paradigm.
Oh, yeah. Like, I can explain that real quick just in terms of the relevancy behind exploring something like lucid dreaming and astral projection. Though I will say, I'm going to choose to not stick around for too late in this moment because I overslept my nap. I've cut down my time on the amount of time that I have to go hang out with my girlfriend tonight. So I'm only going to stick around for literally maybe like 5-10 minutes, and then I'm jetting out the door to go spend some time with her. But what I will say, in terms of that, in terms of lucid dreaming and astral projection, I think that is one of the most potent topics that we can introduce to people who are just starting to awaken. It's even a great conversation starter because everybody dreams, obviously. So even if you're just sitting with someone like at a bus stop, and this is something that I encourage people to do, and we have these things called shift buttons, and again, if you go to ParadigmShiftCentral.com, there's a lot of stuff there, but if you were to engage with a person in a conversation, you could be like, hey, like, I know we're strangers, but have you ever heard of this thing called lucid dreaming? And be like, no, what's it about? It's like, oh, it's when you awaken within a dream, and then you can fly around, and you can like manifest and shoot fireballs and create with your mind, and it's like, hey, actually, I have done that before. So in that sense, most people have had some sort of dream experience that they can relate to. But what I think is the most important thing about it is understanding that dream reality is just like another quote-unquote vibrational frequency of this reality. Like, it's not separate from it. Like, if anything, the dream reality is actually closer to where we are from. And that's why every night when we go to sleep, we actually go back there. And, that's where like our physical body needs that rest. And while we're resting, like our soul consciousness goes into that dream space. And when we're there, we actually have the opportunity to practice how literal our thoughts actually create reality. And then once you realize that this is a real thing, that within our dreams, we have the power to create with our thoughts. Like if you're standing there and you're like, I want an apple, and then an apple appears. But I don't want to get too in depth into just like the super specifics of it. But the main thing is that I find out of teaching people about this is that it opens them up to the idea that they are multidimensional beings by nature, and then from there, it really helps them realize that like this reality is a dream within itself. And that's not to say that it's not real, but it's to say that we have the power to create with our thoughts within the present moment. The only thing that's different is that because of this aspect that we refer to as time, it takes a little bit longer for things to manifest, but the intent is instantaneous. So, I mean, that's where what Kate always talks about, being very mindful of our thoughts, being very mindful of the spells that we are cast with our voice. Because in the same way, if you're in a dream and you say, like, I want this to appear, it will, in most cases, it will appear if that's aligned with your actual intent. So again, it's just a really powerful thing that you can refer to people, because it, ties in with this whole idea that we are literally the conscious creators of this reality. And it's a shared dream experience that we're in right now. And the more that we realize that we are literally creating it, opposed to just byproducts of it or victims of it, so to speak, as some people often put themselves in, it's a really empowering thing. But sorry, I'm not sure who I was talking to who asked that, but does that answer?
Yeah, this is Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, we're
hey, Mike.
Yes.
Mike.
Can I comment?
Yeah, go. Is that Anya?
To make a comment or just to wait for Brandon to say everything?
What was that?
I have comments on what just Brandon said.
Go ahead. Actually, tell you what, guys, Brendan's going to take off. I just spent the last, 2.5 or close to 2.5 hours getting here onto the table, and there is a bowl sitting waiting for me, and I'm going to hand over the reins. I have to reboot because I can't get on the net properly, so I'm going to hand the reins over to Mike, and because there's a little over half an hour left, so I'm going to let Mike handle the table. I'm going to take off. I just need to. I am literally exploding on this end, and I just need to. I got a zone.
You do good work, Kate. You do good work.
Mirror, mirror. Mirror. So make sure you get to Brendan's site and definitely contact him and tune in, because what I was part of was exactly what I wanted to be part of, because it had to be that way. But remember this: every thought is a wish. Be careful what you wish for, and get your intent in place. Okay. So Michael, the table is yours. Brendan, everybody, I love you all, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow night, and because it's a second show today, so I've kind of had my fill. Okay, so I'll mute out on this end. I have to leave. The show's going to run anyway. I can't disconnect the Skype, but I'm walking away from the table so I can get something to eat. I haven't eaten yet. So much love, everybody.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate. I can't wait to smoke a bowl with you someday.
Oh, very soon, my friend. Michael, the table is now... Well, it's everybody's, but you got the helm, okay?
All right, beautiful. Hey, Brendan, it's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah. I don't know, we've been to the table together before. Anyways, me and Mark are going to do the show on Thursdays with Kate, for Kate, give her another break. And we did it last week. Yeah, this is one of what you were just sharing is bringing it right to the point where I'm reminded of, to bring people up to that, so they realize, like Kate says, we're in control of this game. We are the conscious co-creators of it. Look at the examples that you've already had in your life. These are some of the ways we experience this, and to share more of how we're doing this, and how we can clearer do it. Which is co-creating this beautiful reality that we are shifting our consciousness. Yeah. Please.
I was just going to say, I'm going to head out in the next minute. Was there maybe there's one thing I was going to mention, but I was just wondering if anybody maybe had like a question that they wanted to throw at me just before I stepped off the mic.
Yeah, maybe
pretty open-ended.
Wanted to have a comment to share with you. A friend from Holland.
Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I did have a comment on the whole story, on everything what you just said. I was just waiting for a post to get in. But I will just wait for Brandon because probably he's going to leave. And if anybody stays afterwards, then I can share my information with you.
No, he's good. He's already out the door.
I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
All right, beautiful, Brandon.
I don't know where to begin. The beginning with Nassim, it was great when I saw him. He's so cute. That, when I'm Nassim and la 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 la, and then can you imagine in the class with the dots? Do you recall that? With you have this is this one dot, there is nothing. Then you have two. This is linear, and then you have three, and that, and all the story. Then he came with his story, with his experience in the bus. But the cute story of the whole story of Nassim and his school was that just getting him all the time out, and because he needed all the time to travel longer and longer to his next school, eventually he got to the whole idea of that dot. And so this was nice.
Here's the beauty of this story that he's reminding you of, is you have one also.
Me?
You've had a miraculous story to come to this table to where you are. Just as much as Nassim has shared his. He's touched the light in you because you are him in terms of you're a star also.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It's nice. I understand. I do experience somehow that in a different way, but yes, it's true that is so. But it was cute. It was cute the way he said it and everything. And besides all the pyramids and who, where, and how, it was just beautiful with all the ideas he came up with the sun being a stargate, and that actually all the lights that emanating are the black holes, and we are all in the black holes, and then somehow there from within that all that light is emanating and stuff like that. I don't want to go there to get in. Going back to the words and what it means, and now I'm a bit missing from the words of Brandon. It was that actually it's very important when you say that this what the words mean and phonics and about phonics, that everything is phonics and all that game with words. This is just great. And just in the chat room we had people speak a lot of languages. I don't speak and Spanish and Italian and this and that, and to make the parallels, but it is incredible how really all the languages are one, and it's very beautiful. When I stumbled upon Peter Goliath, he is a Russian who, somewhere in the 60s or 70s, I don't know when exactly, he worked in Canada with genetics, and he is famous with wave genetics. And they noticed that the DNA has, the Dutch word is straling, just like laser, just like a laser. There is a beam, a blue beam coming out of the DNA. And has anybody heard of him and the idea? And about the phantom DNA, that even when you remove DNA from somewhere, you still can see it. On a photo it was, or under the microscope, I don't recall anymore. And the beautiful thing is about words, about the sound, the word, and first about God, and first was the word, and that the word is actually the DNA, and the so-called junk DNA actually is it holds the whole information of repairing and creating a new language of mending everything what is missing. Just very roughly said. I need to listen to him again because it was a time ago that for the last time I heard that. And the story that what he says is that what happens the moment the sonics, the moment the sound, the word, the sound is changed, phonics, the DNA changes, and the way of somehow destroying and dumbing down, or there is another word as well, can't find at the moment, of the people, is when the letters as signs and letters as sounds change, because we did lose our ancient writing, and a lot of the sound and the melody of the language is also lost. And nowadays, people, about the jargon, the slang language. There are groups busy with creating. Probably I heard that from.
You know what? This melody of language, you brought up such a beautiful words there. Melody of language. It's any words that resonate with truth and your heart.
Yes, but what's important that I heard from Russians who speak of the history and of all the knowledge about people and the order of the universal order and order of the universe, planets, and you have the Vedic cosmography. Do I say it right? Is that in the past our language tells us even the letters like p, t, m, they were melodic, and our speech was not like just like me now. It was melodic. Everybody was speaking, a bit more longer, and it was just like a song. It was just like singing. It is a melody. That's why it's very important what kind of timbre your voice is, how high, how deep, how excited or not. And the depth of a voice, the depth of the way of the sound you have when you say things. Isn't that an art? And don't you get attracted to people who are just who are so full of melody and of light, and light not just as a light, a lamp, and not just light as a weight, but that reminds me of the inner light. Well, I do say I have a lot of information. I don't know where to begin. But
can I jump in, Shirley?
Stuff?
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, this is Brendan again. I just wanted to jump in because I was just about to say goodbye for now, and I just want to thank everybody because you guys are all amazing. So,
Brendan, I listened to your show with Kate the last time. It was nice.
Oh, that was a fun one. Definitely was.
When is the next one?
We do that show every Sunday. Every Sunday, 9 p.m. EST. And for anybody who wants to connect with that, they can go to facebook.com/ParadigmShiftRadio. And if anybody would like to, and if anybody wants to add me personally, anybody can add me personally at facebook.com/SkullBabylon. And I was just going to say one last thing. When I was talking about the lucid dreaming, and then I'll step off the mic, I was going to say that within the lucid dreaming, it's really important to be able to not just for example, if you want to try flying in a dream, it's important that if you do a reality check in real life, because some people talk about this, sometimes to fly in our dream, it has to during the day. We say, if you jump up and down during the middle of the day to see if the gravity's there or not. The point behind doing a gravity check or a reality check like that is that when you jump, you actually have to have the intention that you are going to fly within that moment, because it's not really as simple as you checking whether or not there is actually gravity and whether or not you're actually asleep. It's a practice of you actually projecting your intention. That way, because in a dream, sometimes if you say like, oh, I'm going to do, like if you do a gravity check in your dream and you try jumping, and sometimes you may just fall back down and then you won't realize it's a dream and you won't become lucid, that's because you weren't actually projecting your intention as much as you could have been. So it's literally like they talked about in Peter Pan, where in order to fly, you have to believe, like you have to know that you can fly. So for anybody who's interested in lucid dreaming, do a reality check during the day, jump up and down to see if there's gravity, but don't just check if there's gravity. Jump up and down with the intention that you will fly. And then if you do that in a dream, it will also happen. In the same way that don't just like put forth an intention because like you think it's what you're supposed to do, like actually check in with yourself to see whether or not you are really like believing it or just pretending that you believe it, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was just one more thing I wanted to say. But yeah, so I'll just say farewell for now, and I'm sure you guys will have plenty more to talk about, but it was great connecting with you. So
yeah,
go have a good day.
Have a nice time with your girlfriend.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be sure to call in and join you guys again for future episodes with Kate. That'll be fun. So, okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Namaste.
Good night.
Take
Good
care.
night. Namaste.
So, is there anybody else at the table who'd like to share?
Hey, this is David again.
All right, David.
Hey, this is Michael.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? You guys have any, like, the sacred number 9, right? I've learned so much over these past 2 years. It's felt like a turbocharged download. And so it's hard to articulate everything I learned in that amount of time, especially in between Kate, Bill, Santos, Marty Leeds, Nassim Harriman, everybody else, but the synchronicity in between all that, and with number 9, just like 1111 pops up for a lot of us all the time, which is still a crazy phenomenon. It happens to me so much. But I started figuring out the Fibonacci sequence. I was always terrible at math. To this day, I still can't even do a division problem or fraction problems. But when I came across Marty Leeds and the geometry, or the geomantra, and then the vortex math of Mark Rodin and a few other guys that are involved with that, it all just permeated right into my head, and I understand it all. And the 9 is it's insane how everything divides right back to that. And just like with the Fibonacci, the 12th number, like the 12th zodiac, every 12th pair goes back to 9. I was watching Marty Leeds, The True Meaning of Christmas, or Christmas, and he's breaking all these numbers down, and it made my head explode. But with just like how St. John's Revelation is 13:18, that's 234. That's 13 times 18 is 234. 234 is mirror image is 432, which is 666, which that goes back to 9. And then with Marty Leeds and the geometry, Jesus equals 4,320. 2 ages of zodiac equal 4,320. And then you keep going up, and every time you add 2,160, each one equals 9. So all 12 equal 9. Then that equals 12 times 9 is 108, and that equals 9. And then if you add up each one of those 2,160s, it equals 162,000. That goes down to 9. Divide it by 12, 135,000 goes down to 9. And it always breaks back down in on itself. And it's just, I don't know what that is, but it's mind-boggling when it all puts together and it comes so simple.
Yeah, beautiful. Somebody posted recently, I'll look for it in a moment, and it was about number 9, about 432, and how 432, if you add it up, it's 9, and all the divisions and when you go up the scale or down the scale, all add up to 9 when you add up the numbers. And such beautiful, really well done. I'll look for it in a moment. But by chance, did you listen to the Beatles song when you were young, number 9? I listened to this a lot. Really.
I did not.
If anyone doesn't hear it, this was the Beatles tune, number 9. It was their trippiest, most whacked out song, and if you happen to partake in a little herb and listen to this, you'd want to listen to it again. It was a mind bender. I forget which album, but it was number 9. And now recently, when we're recognizing this number again, it's kind of like 8. You're stuck in the 9 is kind of like we come out of the spiral. We spiral up and onwards and upwards, and that's what we're. It's. For me, it's like free. It's reminding me of freedom. It's reminding me of heart.
That's what's so crazy about that number and the Fibonacci sequence, and how the embryo is the 9 and the universe is the 9, and the way that the planets come out of the sun is a 9, or the Fibonacci sequence behind it. And the simplicity of it is just so beautiful. It makes my head explode. Or that I can even understand the vortex math and the pairing of the 3, 6, and 9, and how everything's the mirror image on those charts of the vortex math. It's wild how simple it is, but it makes me starting to understand why I hated math so bad when I was younger in school, and why I rebelled against it the whole entire time. I was in the
even more confusing.
I was such a little punk when I was younger, and I obviously know why now. I thought growing up I was the outcast. I was the one that's ADD. I was the one in the alternative classes, but I was the one that was like, fuck this shit. Like, and even when I was in the 4th grade, I had a teacher trying to make me do my times tables, and I wouldn't do them because he was an asshole. And I've always been a mirror. And so he made me stay in class all night long. Somehow talked my mom into doing that. And even put me in a cubicle and put a box around the cubicle to try to make me do this, because I told him I wasn't going to do it. And I was such a little tyrant. I stayed up all night long, throwing shit at him when he'd fall asleep, kicking the box over. And then the next morning, a real beautiful teacher came in and was like, "Baby Willie, why are you doing this? Like, what's wrong?" And I looked at her, and I'm like, "He's an asshole, and I'm not going to do it." And she turned her head and looked away and kind of was like, and I was like, huh. And she's like, "Well, can you not do it?" And I did it in 30 seconds, and I gave it to her, and I said, "I told you, he's an asshole, and I don't want to do it." And that was in the 4th grade, I think. So,
yeah. So what is this about? It's beyond about math. It's not buying the system's obey program, which was there to help you wake up, which it obviously did help you at a young age. Like, fuck that. And that generally what they teach us is a whole lot of bullshit, because when you recognize this other stuff that you're sharing about, the simplicity of it is beyond mind-blowing. It's truth.
Yeah. And I think that's what finally I had such a beautiful paradigm shift, like at one point when I started seeking everything myself and teaching myself, that I realized that little kid wasn't the outcast, wasn't the problem, but that was my spirit going, "No, fuck this. Like, what is this? I don't need this." And now I'm kind of stuck in I don't know, it's kind of a weird point right now. I'm stuck doing the slave grind every day and stuck in trying to make a living and having my kids, but then also understanding that it's all a bunch of bullshit. And how do you really put it together now to keep them okay and on the right path, and then also understand everything that is coming clear? It's kind of a weird tipping point, I guess. And that's part of the hardest part right now is like I live in a family where I have 3 completely off-balance Geminis. One's a conservative Catholic Republican. My brother's a genius, but he's completely stuck on one side. And then the mother of my children's the same way. And then a completely only emotional Libra. And that's where I'm going to live in that house right now. And that's a pretty weird situation where you keep trying to talk about things and no one wants you even to open your mouth.
You know what? One of the things you can do is watch comedy. Get them to laugh or whatever it may be. Then they're more open to actually remembering this knowledge that you're sharing.
No doubt. I do cable, and which is funny. I'm installing these cable boxes that are helping them stay stuck. I'm spending most of my time like just sowing little seeds with people, and I spend more time doing that than I do my job anymore. And because I noticed that there's a lot of people out there that kind of are on that. They know something's not right, but they've been stuck with so much bullshit their whole life that they don't know how to get out of it. And so I'll see something on the wall, or like today a lady had a husband named Michael that passed away that was into astronomy. And I spent about 2 hours with her telling her about the tetrahedrogram and how the tetrahedrogram's got the 64 sides to it. And then the all-seeing eye, Horus, is a 63 over 64, missing one thing, missing you, and that you is your pineal gland. And that the same thing as the 64 divisions of your womb when it divides is the same as the tetrahedrogram, and showing them that Michael didn't die. Michael just kept going. And, you got the ocean. If you take a cup out of that ocean, it's no big deal. You throw it back in the ocean, it's the whole thing. And, and I gave her some links to the show and to Santos and Marty and different things that I kind of talked about. And it just, she was almost shaken, but in a really good way. And I always tell them, don't believe a fucking word I just told you. I don't want you to believe a single word, but I wanted to sow a seed, and I want you to go look for yourself, because if I tell you I have the truth, I'm no different. But go look for yourself. And I wish that I could find a way or I'm hoping that I find a way. I'm trying to manifest a way to be able to do that on a daily basis and not waste 50 hours a week doing the other bullshit. And that's a really hard place to be with everything that I know compared to the way that the world is working at the current moment.
Yeah, I hear you.
But we need to make the change. And I'm very curious how, by the way, because I'm so prepared to it, and yet I don't dare. I do it here in the house, to pay my bills. I don't need money to pay it. At least to pay the bills.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Well, I don't know why.
Yeah, your connection isn't so good.
Yeah, possible. And now? Is now better?
No, it's breaking up. It's crackling.
Okay, then I will be safe.
Okay. You were saying something really right on earlier when you joined the call. It really had me smiling, and it was how it's about, you realize you don't have to accept others' interpretation of life. And with that, you realize the only what's left is to accept responsibility for your own.
I know, but I'm an outsider all my life.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? That's a beautiful thing.
It is, but people are so attracted to softness, to tenderness, to melodics, to the voice, to the tempo, to everything, to radiation, whatever, energy, the feminine side, all that sweet, nice things. They even don't know what it is. And I did it. I had very difficult. I did experience for a time the people just like piranhas. I did feel myself for about 2 or 3 years just like eaten and bitten by piranhas from all the people around, because they don't get enough attention. They don't get enough love. They don't get enough interest in anything. They are not interested in anything, even children. And I experience here the life. I don't know, probably I'm too isolated from everything for the moment, but people are very deprived from the richness of the emotional life, of the soul, of some belief, but belief not I believe and nothing else exists, but just the belief. This is to have the heart full of life, and then the light.
So, my reminder here, and what is so beautiful about it is, look and feel where we are right now. And those other people you're kind of mentioning, when they get that heart spark glowing a little stronger, how much more change happens?
It's true. Yes, it's true. There is an evidence.
And so we got a lot more beautiful things to look forward to.
Yeah, the last 1 year, people are just laughing at me, and they're like, ha, 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 and you believe in that? Ho, 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 ho. And I'm afraid for you. You're crazy. Can you hear yourself? I just...
Well, here it is. We've been talking about this, and it goes to this. Most of if you turned it around to people, we talked about this earlier on the show, and asked them actually what did they believe in, what were they thinking, and where did they come up with these thoughts? They're not going to defend them or anything. They don't know. They just accepted something off they heard from the TV or something, and they really never examined it. But they're quick to judge yours.
But there are
this
people.
happens.
I understand.
This happens. Laugh. You got to keep your humor. I know it hurts sometimes, but I think inside of that is to laugh.
I was
to go, yeah, I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Because that's what it comes out as, and you were being really nice and sweet, and all of a sudden you're getting insulted, and I was just like, wait a second, this wasn't what I, okay, go share with someone else. That's what I got to remember. Otherwise, we take it personally, and we forget that, I'm having fun. Okay.
Hey, Michael.
It's time I didn't spend more in the shift.
Yeah, you shift it. Yes, what's up, bro?
There are also did shift, but...
that brought up a funny point about just 2 nights ago. My conservative Catholic stepfather. We got into it, and I'm a Leo, and I try to stay on my higher will now instead of the lower will, but we got into it about some other things and got into a pretty heated debate, and I just finally was like, all right, fuck it, and just threw everything out of that I've learned from Bill Donahue about the scriptures in Matthew and what it's really saying, and what you just said about laughing. I got real heated, got real, I said a whole bunch, but in very good ways about the different scriptures. Like most people claim being Christian, but don't know a single thing about what the scriptures say anyway. And the next day, I woke up and I laughed about it, and this was all right, that was a weird experience, and was not bothered at all anymore. The next night, him though, he's still just fuming and steaming around the house and just not getting it, and that's when I just laughed. And I heard him even mumble under his breath at something and just started cracking up. just like, all right, well, it's not ever going to work, so I can't worry about it. But it was pretty entertaining to see his face when saying things like, you can't worship two gods. You either love one or hate the other. You're pretty much you're worshiping Mammon right now. You're sitting there watching 7 hours of TV a day and believing in this government. Everything I've ever tried to tell you is a bunch of bullshit. And that's a false reality that's going against your soul. And you have spiritual contracts on yourself. And he's like, I'm a Catholic, and I No, man, you're not. And you're much more than that. And if you just listen to the scriptures that you believe in, even in the literal way you believe them, if you would read the ones that the Christ figure even talks about, you'll see the own hypocrisy in what you're doing and why you're doing it. And it just doesn't register with some people.
Well, that comes back to ownership and being responsible. And it will come to this for them, however long they want to ignore it. But it will come to them. They just decided to wait a little longer, choosing to wait a little longer, it seems. Or they got a bigger joke in store for themselves. Because what can you say to this guy? You can't argue their point. You can't argue another point, because that's what it becomes, and all you're doing is sharing. And so my reminder is, ask them, hey, watch. If you're going to watch so much TV, watch something a little more funnier.
Right.
So there's a small baby step they can do. You know what I mean? Obviously, to grasp this other point, they're not receptive to it. But they can make a small baby step, and if it's they're watching 8 hours or how much TV, add a little bit of comedy in there. Maybe that helps to shine some light on their own. The bullshit staring them right in the face with most of the news and stuff they're taking secondhand, and even the information that they know to be true, they don't research it. They don't go look. They're blindly following. It's a program of disempowering ourselves. That's about it.
You know, when I go home right now, I'm pretty sure the State of the Union will be on. Are any of you guys watching that?
No way.
No.
Talk about comedy.
Of my reality. Wow. Good laugh.
Talk about comedy, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we gotta look at it like Kate says. And like she was talking about, what was that movie? A war movie. And you look at it as a good cartoon. Look at it as comedy, and we have to, because when we laugh at this shadow side of ourselves, that's when we really finish it. And that's when we reach a level of truth where we can really laugh at our
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
So there's this guy driving along the road, right? Okay, he's just driving along the road, minding his own business, because that's what we do. We just kind of do that drive around travel thing, and the OPP pulls him over. Story. Yesterday? Today? I'm not sure. Anyway. you wait to hear the punchline. It's fucking hilarious. So he's driving along, minding his own business, and pulls this guy over. Right? OPP goes up the window, asks the guy, does he have a license? And he says, no, and apparently I don't need one. Punchline? Have a good night, sir. Guys, we have this game to stay the course. Who was it just posted in the room there about I'm the storm. I'm the duality storm. I name me, right? I just called my duality storm is Kati, the spirit of love. Hell of a storm. Apparently where was it? Let me get to it, because this was quite funny. Here it is. So, the storm in the south is called Leon. No, it's not. It's called Heart Mine. Leo rules the heart. The Fa note, the root note of creation, and N makes it all mine, you see. Since when did we start naming these storms? Great question, Kelly. We named everything. That's what sound does. Did no one ever wonder why names and just regular words were always so different? You know, you never think about that? Because there's two entirely different tenses there. One's for regular language and the other one's for God language. And you got to figure out the God first before you can figure out the tongue pledge language second. And we've been walking around putting carts before horses for so long. Anyway, welcome to Outside the Box here on a beautiful Tuesday night. Well, it's night here, and it's night, half the planet anyway, or close to it. It depends on the twilight, right? And of course, Santo is going in to crush the entire Australian legal system right now, so because it's all fraud. Santo knows who he is, and that's why I didn't get caught up in any of the dramas of people, taking little shots at me, thinking that I'm not, that I don't care. And actually, the whole fact of the matter is I do care, and that's why I didn't get involved with aiding and abetting and putting that intention where, got to get legal funds, got to get a lawyer, got to get this, got to get... No. See, that's what children do. You see, they're still stuck in the papal or the paper matrix. So that's what it is. Pa is, there's your father aspect in terms of the masculine, intent per, so your intent per. So what paper is actually telling you phonetically is that this is how you put forth your intent. And it's not just the squiggles on the page. You better understand what those squiggles mean. But what it's doing is if you look at the piece of paper, as I've said before, consider that it's a hand grenade. It's empty, and the pin is truly lodged into it. So you put the writing on it. Well, if you didn't write it, well, the grenade's empty and the pin's still in it. Now, here's the other thing. If you actually read it and can connect with the concepts contained within it, that using anything in the system, the Whore of Babylon system, is pure and utter fiction and is powerless, then what you're going to start to see is your intent is now getting some crow power, some cause. By the way, about halfway up here, I was thinking about the crown and the crow and the cause and all the rest of it, and lo and behold, and we're talking, this is one of the, I got to tell you, this is probably the shittiest traveling weather I have ever traveled through in Canada, bar none. Bar none, get it? None, the destroyer, bar destroyed. Intent is out. So as I'm about halfway up, and I was thinking about this, and hundreds, if not probably 1,000 or more crows were on the trees on each side of the highway. They just came out of nowhere. And I'm looking and I just laughed and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed some more. Because I know what's happening. I can see the magic as this planet is forming. So get your energy where it needs to be. Santo is God. I know he is. He's me. Magnetic electric. Just as you are God, you're me. You're magnetic electric. I'm me. I'm magnetic electric. And we're bringing this into balance now. And something else, too, there's been a profound shift in so many ways. I got to get in my car and drive some shitty weather more often, apparently. But anyway, of course, everything, I know how the plan's being played out. I can read the map. And what's happening here is this playing out to such a level that I have no words for it. So... what was I going to say there? About Santo. Yeah, so is me. Okay? About the private prosecution. Well, you see, on the way up here, I was thinking privati, free, before va to go, t to love. So that's what private is. Or you could be a public. You might pronounce it public. I just pronounce it public. I was thinking about this the other day, actually, the public versus the privati. So when you're private, you're almost there, right? So what does prosecute mean? Well, prosecute, let's just take it literally. It actually means do not pursue. That's what it means. So why the hell would we want to pursue? Listen, guys, we've been chasing our own tails, acting in fraud, thinking we are the legal fiction, one, and two, just the belligerence and the intent of it. Oh, you've put your fence and inch onto my property. I'm going to sue your ass. Okay, put your crayon away. Here's an ice cream cone. Does that help? That make you feel any better? Okay. That's basically the grown-up attitude that I've seen. It's like even going to divorce court. What, did you bring lawyers in when you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend in high school? Or did you do that all by yourself? Dipshits. Oh, but they're going to have my stuff. Guess you're not that able to create anything. But you see all the little traps we put ourselves into? So let's get back to privati, which is before going to love, and prosecuti, which is for himself, herself, itself. Q. There's that. Take your Q, baby. That's your ovum with the sperm in it. T, which is love. So it's for the creation of love. I don't see any beating somebody over the head with a baseball bat, 5-year-old retarded kid in there. So let's put it together with the sounds. And guys, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. I mean, I had a field this afternoon on criticalmassradio.co.uk main page. I do the once a week Tuesday show, and I have to tell you that you guys need to download that one and this one if you want to, really get into the zone and play them back to back, and you'll be amazed. Hopefully as amazed as I was. Like, holy shit, it's been a very profound day. But anyway, let's get these mics going tonight, guys. I want everyone jumping in. This is celebration time. Santo, the living God, put the energy behind that intent of pure, unconditional love that allows all things in, all things out. God is all about accepting all things. AC, the alternating current in balance. 7, the God number. Bring it into balance in God with all things. Crazy. Anyway, let me get Mike jumping in here. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And good morning. Just for good measure.
Yeah, I was wondering, who is it? Yeah, Santos. Australia. You guys are morning time now. Beautiful. Thanks for reminding me, Kate. It is already, for us, in some ways, just to show you the fictionality of time, just because someone drew lines on a planet and said now it's tomorrow in Japan and Australia and other parts of the world to me right now. And they tried to explain it to me in a way that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, what's different from any other fictional fairy tale I've heard? We're talking about something that's taking place tomorrow for me, that's today. We're going back to this, it's always noon. We're transcending the constructs of our limited consciousness that we're playing with in this game.
Yep. For those that might have one, but here, just get the visual of a clock that is see-through with all the numbers on the front. And you'll see the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around on this side, okay, as you're looking at it. And it's, of course, turning clockwise. But if you turn the clock over, let's just say it is, in the clockwise world, it is 5 after 12. In the anti-clockwise world, it's 5 to 12. So it's always the same time, in balance, from the now. So in the counterclockwise world, it's 5 minutes to the now. Let's make noon the now. And in the clockwise world, it is 5 minutes after the now.
This is the same with the way you break down language, where we're breaking down the definition.
Yeah, making it our own. And this is all I'm trying to show people. Instead of taking stuff literally, make it your own. This is how you control cause. If you are taking something literal, you are at effect to that cause that someone else has put in your face. This is what it means to be mind controlled. guys, they've been throwing kangaroos and rabbits and monkeys and all sorts of shit in your left field for years. They call it the 6 o'clock news. They call it Hollywood. They call everything in terms of the game. Again, I say they as me, the other energy of me, which I'm playing. That's what we do. And, well, you bought that, so how about you buy the mirror instead, the one that you're creating from? So if I keep going back to it because it works. Crown Bar shuts down. To the literal, it's a pub, and they got to find somewhere else to drink. To the allegorical, well, the Crown Bar shuts down. The Crown Bar allegory for me is the Temple Bar, City of London, where all the crows are now dead. I'm talking their intent.
Did you get a chance to listen to Curtis recently?
Oh, hang on. I want to go to anagogic, right? Remember, I was in 3. Okay. So there's the allegory. The anagogic to me is, how does it matter to me? What relevance in my reality does that have? It has all the relevance that I choose to have, because it's the crown. It's foreshadowing in my movie. Crown Bar shuts down. Yep, that's what I want. My intention is entirely different than what the newspaper headline was. So that's what happens when you move from literal and be at effect to anagogic, where, yeah, that's my movie, baby. Watch it unfold. Anyway, so go ahead. You were talking. You said you were talking to Curtis?
No, that's it. And I was going to give you an example of that again. Curtis was talking, I guess this weekend somebody posted the link. I haven't gone all the way through it. But he's talking about how every lawyer or attorney has no right to practice in any state because they did not do a subscribed oath. So if you just asked them, where's your subscribed oath that you signed? None of them have it. None of them will produce it. And so they're thinking this is the game changer in there.
And they're actually charging, from what I hear, they're charging $300 a pop for some documents. I'm going, okay, kids. And I'm going to be very polite.
I'm sticking to the words, right?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm a transparent. So I will be a transparent, and I will call out all of the nonsense, and that is utter nonsense. Go ahead, Michael.
So what I get really clear is, okay, you just said it. No lawyer or attorney is legally or lawfully allowed to practice in any state. And my reminder to Chris yesterday was, and what part of they will change it to however they deem fit to do whatever they please did you not get?
Yeah, no, they're still trying to play Monopoly in the game, that is the grid, with rules that we set up to entrap ourselves so that we could play a game. Remember, everything that is here that we would deem to be a trap, we set it up to see if we could figure our way out of it. It'd be a very boring game if we played in God mode. I keep bringing this up. Does that not make sense? I mean, I wouldn't want to watch the same hockey game or football or soccer or whatever game over and over and over and over. I'd get kind of bored. And this is what we do. Is the end game is let's just have the end game. Of course, in Japan, tie is always considered the most honorable finish. So let's say the game is a great game full of lots of action, one of the best games you've ever seen, lots of goals. It's a tie, end as a tie game in sudden overtime, then it goes sudden death again, and then, of course, you have the tie, which is 10-10. So one hell of a game between, let's say Toronto Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadiens, for all the Canadians here, okay? And everybody else, if you follow that sort of stuff. Now, knowing the score is going to be a tie, well, there's not much of a game there, so we have to kind of make ourselves think that we're going to be in sudden death overtime for, continuous times. But no, I'm done. I'm done with it. The tie works for me, where everybody wins, right? Everyone goes home, everyone saves face, and all they do is now talk about the game. Oh, do you remember that time when you slapped my ass in fucking solitary? Oh my God, I couldn't believe that. So yeah, you got me. And do you remember that time when everything around you collapsed? And this is what is happening within consciousness. Just a little word to the wise. How many current officers are out of commission right now up here, guys? 16 out of 50. officers out of commission due to 3 in critical condition due to, and I don't wish this on anyone. You see, this is the mirror reflecting back now. I will not prosecute. I don't have any need to. That's silliness. So I just let the universe go, yeah, no problem, I'm good with that. That's what they want to experience, then that's their call, that's consciousness, and that's letting consciousness play itself out. Who am I to judge? I'm just going to be a really cool neutral observer and point it out and laugh. Not at any, if people, but people are hurt. Guys, it's still the movie, okay? It feels very real. It feels so real. Oh my God, it's real. I can't believe it's real. Bill Hicks, look at the furrows of worry under my eyes. Look at my house. Look at it has to be real. And like he says, we kill those guys. Well, that's only because there was the intent the other way too. Sorry, you can't kill those that have no intention of that. You see? Yes, and it can be very loud indeed, So remember that.